Joanna. I prefer Celeste. Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful week. We are going to do a couple of channels and then we are going to just jump right into practicing our clairs. We're going to do a clearing and a cleansing. And then we're going to move on to practicing our clairs. So we're going to do gathering in our teams. I'll show you how I gather in the teams, making sure that you're aligned. Going through, again, practicing that every day that you communicate with spirit, that you're in the highest vibration that you can be so that you can connect with the highest vibrational energies. As well as this is the evolution for all of humanity, is to step into who we are as the highest version of who we are as a multidimensional being, as a multidimensional aspects of Source Creator, the smaller fragments of aspects that are Source, in reflection of the grander aspects of Source, and it goes all the way up to the 13th dimension. So there's infinite fractals that we can look at ourselves within the collective experience, and allowing us to learn as much as we can in the radical acceptance path that is unity consciousness. And so that's why we do have all of these experiences of the wide array and the wide facets of who we are as humans, and loving yourself throughout it all. I know as a healer, it's been really, really challenging to, especially with the amount of energy and with the amount of things that I can accomplish in one day, the amount of things that I enjoy looking into, the amount of things that I love exploring and expressing. It's frustrating to know that so much of my path has been absolutely manipulated in every way. So that's the hardest thing that I have to get through and I have to accept, make peace with, so that I can have a better time while I'm here. So that has been a path in and of itself, and it's going to take, as the time goes on and as we move forward in our ascension. My role here is to assist with human ascension, human evolution. I am one of the ground crew on behalf of the systems of light, on behalf of Mother, Father, God, on behalf of a presentation and a representation of the heavens. So I'm so very grateful to have this role that I am playing out as Divine Feminine and Divine Goddess. So I'm so very grateful that the systems and the teams and the ancestors and all of my beautiful lineage of beings, of celestials, have been working with me to assist me in repairing my body, in repairing all the things that have been done since I've been here, and that will add great volume and great education for all of my healing systems. So we're gonna get right into our channel, because I have a few things I have a couple of pages from Commander Ashtar, just updates on where we're at. So I might have to just a quick just synopsis and catch up. I've talked about before the karma board and what the karma board is all about, and I connect with the karma board about once a month with and on behalf of my higher self, just to make sure that I'm moving in the constant direction of my highest and my best path. If there's anything else that I can work on, if there's any things that have fallen through the cracks that I need to bring forward as another lesson, things that I'm following through to keep learning with in an expanded way. So the karma board helps you be the best version of you and really move within that very fine line of attunement, of expanding within your gifts and skills of benevolency. Obviously, the Karma Board is there to take part in all of the spiritual councils. Karma Board is present for every spiritual council court that goes through. So as there's the spiritual courts in the higher realm and the higher order, the Karma Board obviously is involved in all of those dealings and the outpouring of judicial say on all sides of the parties, just because we're working within a multiverse, and within the multiverse there are many beings that are connected, many beings that are taking part, and many beings that are a part of the unfolding of collective evolution for humanity. And so therefore, thus then, we have to understand that there is threaded appeal all the way up to the 13th dimension, and how these contracts of the soul and soul growth and soul evolution have been expanding. And it is quite important that the karmic board and the higher realms, Mother, Father, God, and all of the souls involved, and all of the federations involved, and all of the councils involved. And this is how I've been bringing forward as much as I can, but obviously the messages have not been getting through. That as important as it is for what we play on and the behalf of our galactic federation families, our celestial families, our alien families that every single one of us on Earth are a part of. Every single human on Earth is threaded to the galactic councils. Every human on Earth is threaded to the alien councils and the star councils. There is not one human that is not a part of the greater universe, and what the greater universe entails as far as our own soul's growth. So we've come here with those packages of impossible design of the DNA that each of us have, Each of us has celestial and alien DNA within us. It's just a matter of what part has been activated or not, because if you're not doing the healing, if you're not doing that soul integration, those DNA codons cannot be activated. Therefore, thus then you're not activating those parts of the celestial gifts and skills that you have. So although people have been saying, yeah, you know, I have all of these aspects of myself that are very important and very keen and I see them as very beautiful and very powerful within the collective, and they're used as healing tools and gifts, and why I've been initiated so many times through the heavens and through the masters. But what we have to make sure that is important is that everything I've taught from day one are my unique healing systems for ascension, for the soul's progress. So if you're doing the soul's growth and if you're doing your daily ascension path work, you're going to activate those codons of your own unique celestial, alien, cosmic DNA. And then you become an infused soul human. So I'm just an example of what the ascension pathwork is and what the ascension pathwork allows you to operate within. And so just know that. It's always been a mirrored experience. It's always been the role that I've played for humanity, and why I've been, you know, a year out in front of everybody, so that I can experience the downloads, I can experience what's going on in the collective, and then I can bring it forward in teachings, which I've always done for the past 17 years. That's what I've done. And I've written books about it. So I'm a conduit, and I'm a seer, I'm a psychic, and I'm also a vibrational healer. And we've talked about it many times, and go back to watch my videos. Not every healer is a vibrational healer. Not every healer is a Christic vibrational healer, and not every healer is manifested through the masters and through the heavenly programs. I am. And it's just a matter of how you practice and why you have protocols, as we've said, paying attention to universal laws. And if you're not paying attention to universal laws and you're not connecting with your higher self every day, then you're not getting the highest initiations, and you're not getting the highest navigational help that you can be. So this is why we've said right from day one, understand your protocol, understand universal laws, and work with your higher self and build that alignment every day. And what is alignment? Alignment is the relationship and the connection that you have with spirit. And so because we have all the issues on earth that we do in every way, that we've also said in all of our videos, every core wounding that humanity has is because of the disconnect of spirit. And it's even gone further into the various abuses that have been incited by, you know, certain fractions of government and certain fractions of elite, have even gone into the communities to hire certain secret cults and certain societies and masons to assist in the sabotaging and the human hunger games of certain humans that have come forward in sensitivities and higher functioning experiences of who we are and the giftedness of our earning. We've earned it. So we have the right to be in our full universal aspects of fullness. We have our right to practice our celestial gifts and our alien gifts. As an advanced culture in 5D, that's all we'll be living within. We will be living in fully telepathy. We will be living in manifesting through thought. We will be living in manifesting healing in our body immediately. So all of these things are in our future. But we can't get there, and we can't just jump there. We have to understand the soul's progress. We have to understand that dodecahedron of why have we acted in certain perspectives and fractals of ourselves? Why have we separated from ourselves? Why have we discriminated? Why have we hate? Why do we separate from each other? Why is divine feminine not in any balance whatsoever in our collective? Why are the elderly and why do the children not have a voice? All of these things have to be reintroduced and reintegrated. We cannot move into 5D without the slow progression of the reintegration of every aspect of humanity. Part of my role was the importance of divine feminine being brought back into balance for all of humanity. There was a red flag offered back in 1987 with the futures that source creator, the God of all creation, was seeing that humanity was going in alignment of extinction because of the divine masculines refusing to look at the suppressions of their wounding and refusing to give all other voices in society a voice and a say and fairness and justice. So part of my role in coming forward, and all the soul integrations that I've had to go through, as we've talked about many times, the 1950s soul integration of the Eisenhower experience with the celestial integration of my DNA, and all of those things that have incorporated to who I am now, and the celestials and my councils, the galactic federations and the systems of light, have had to do a lot of fixing and a lot of enhancing and upgrading with my DNA and with what has been done, because there's been so much damage to my body, to my health, to who I am as a spirit on earth, and it's been very intentional, it's been very malicious, and it's been very cruel. And so what we're seeing right now is what we've talked about 6-7 months ago, is that the unfolding of the spiritual courts now being anchored into the physical courts, the physical reality, in which all of those things that have been done in the spiritual realm and in the higher realms, in the fifth dimensional realms, is trying to pull apart people from their destiny, pull apart people from their chosen path, pull apart people from who and what they used to belong to or what they thought they were entitled to with all these different dogmatic systems and, control over others and fear systems, that all of our humanity is healing. We have to heal those aspects before we move into 5D. And that's just a normal progression of our soul evolution, because nobody has say over another soul. They never did and they never will. And so we have to be very open and honest that these are spiritual laws and spiritual order of how a soul progresses. The earth will continue to ascend. And in that ascension to 5D, there is the looking at all beliefs and why that you hold anybody less than you, and why do you hold anybody apart from you, and why do you hold anybody in discrimination of you, because it is all you. That is the healing. And taking it a step further, the inciting of danger, the inciting of death and sacrifice and incest, and all of those things that are done in very wounded states of separation. Very wounded states of separation are no sense of self. Because of the church and state, because of the dogmatic teachings, because of the taking of the creative self out of itself and having to perform certain ways to get reward and having to perform certain ways to belong. All of these things are at the core wounding of humanity, and they have to be looked at. Because in 5D, as we said, there is not going to be any specific religious or cultural belief that will have us doing certain things in certain ways for us to belong to the culture. We are unified in oneness. And so there will be many of those on the planet that will not choose to go forward in healing because they have not done enough work. They choose to sit in discrimination. They choose to sit in hate because their sense of self is so low. Because what you project outwards is what you are within. So it's just their sense of self that they might not have enough time to go forward in. And there will be a shifting off. Every cycle of ascension, every month and every day, there is a shifting off of those that cannot keep the bare minimum, the base minimum of the planetary vibration. If you cannot maintain the core vibration of planet Earth ascending, you cannot go for the ride. And that's again why we said, anyone that's in a really low vibrational cult where they're taking people out and they're scheming and plotting and scamming and studying and obsessing and hacking and stealing every day, and they're living in debauchery and lies and manipulation every day, everything about them is a lie. There's no way they could take on a higher version's gifts. They just couldn't. They wouldn't be able to see one of my downloads without going into psychosis and insanity. And this is why many of them right now are choosing that experience of psychosis and insanity, because they are being brought to the exact equal to what they have impaled upon me. And because none of them are protected, because they have chosen to continually hate and they can chosen to continually abuse and attack and defame and lie and blame and accuse me for being all of these things that I'm not, which God, and I think Commander Ashtar will approach that in my channel. So all of these things that they have done is now being completely returned and back to those people that have been doing it. And it doesn't matter what cult, culture, church, state, society, or coven that you belong to. If you are choosing to stay in those small boxed experiences and not expand into full unity consciousness, 5D will not be an option for you. And then you will be shifted off to whatever earth vibration that you sit with on. And I don't care about those earths. My focus is on the new earth, highest creative divine unity consciousness. That is 5D Earth, where we as a part of the ground crew are going to help humanity, assist humanity in the healing, building bridges from a low vibrational matrix to a higher vibrational systems of light, fields of light, cities of light, in which our light bodies and our Merkabas and all that we are as divine light beings and celestial universal beings and multiversal beings can live in a harmonized culture of oneness, where we are using our gifts and skills for healing. We're using our gifts and skills for the benefit of the all, which it should be. I mean, all of our laws are drawn that way for the liberties and the safety of human rights. And they're not being adhered to on any level, especially by those actually in the judicial system and in the policing system, through which many of these elites, which I've explored in the last 4 years, go back to my videos, last 4 years, Source gave me this term specifically, which is what we have been talking about, and we're going to mention it today. Source mentioned it to me back then as, and I think it's called, my video called You Are Supported. And it's in my Ascension playlist. That's the first time that I got the download Elite Soul Harvesting. And the Elite Soul Harvesting was also under the umbrella of shadow government. And the shadow government were these select elites that were playing in the dark, if you will, of the dark occult practices, the dark Masonic warped practices. And a lot of the core wounding in that was no sense of self and sexual deprivation and sexual wounding. Because many of them were closet gays, closet closet experiences that they were trying to sort out themselves, but they chose to do it in an underground fashion as opposed to the expression. So again, there is the entropy and then there's the evolution. They chose the entropy. They can choose evolution in any time they want, but they're not choosing to heal. They're choosing to still go in entropy because they're choosing to still entropy karmic practices. In the infinity, there is the entropy, which is the negative, neutralizing it, meaning I accept it and I'm going to make peace with it. Now, how can I make this better? And then you're moving into a more expanded evolutionary process, and you're moving into an ascended evolutionary cycle. Everything is cyclical. So if you're not choosing higher vibrational ascension cycles and the patterns and the beliefs and the self-love and affirmations and all that you're doing as a multivibrational being, if you're not choosing this cycle of becoming, of churning, of alchemizing, you're going to stay in that low entropy, and they have to be shifted off because it cannot stay on a planet where the focus is love and unity. And Source Creator won't continue the battles. There's been far too much that has been taking place. So we've come together as much as we've have to discuss. I am a seer, I'm a conduit. Part of my role is a vibrational conduit of the Christ consciousness. It has nothing to do with religion, as we've explained many times, so go back to my videos. Christ consciousness is the energy that we hold as light. So the more that we integrate our light, the more that we integrate into the wholeness of who we are as a soul, the more that we integrate that 51% of our karma, which are 51% of our soul fragments that have been left out or wounded. All of those aspects are for us, and our individuation is called the individuated parts of ourselves. All of those aspects are for us to bring in and heal through the process called alchemy. And these are natural soul progressions as just a practice of self-evolution. I've written about it in my books. So all of these soul fragments that are for you to alchemize and be a part of your 51% will then bring in a full harmonization of who you are as a multidimensional being, because your fields of light, your fields of energy, your fields in your Merkaba look exactly like the toroidal of the universe. We are the micro-macro of the universe. We are the holographic experience of the universe. So everything is, again, micro-macro. We are seeds and we are fractals of Source Creator. Therefore, it is a micro-macro experience. And in our healing and in our bringing in, we get to activate the codons, and those codons help you access your celestial, your alien, your ancestral energies and your informations and your wisdoms, gifts, and skills. And that's how you start pulling on all of the things that your ancestors were not able to transcend. They weren't able to transcend the curses and the hexes and the understanding of transcending dark occult. You don't need dark occultism. You can use it for the alchemy of of exercising demons and exercising energies. But if you're in a higher resonance, you wouldn't have to do that because you're already in the resonance of living in a high vibration. So dark occultism is not meant to be used as an everyday thing to get stuff and to be clout chasing and to have a higher state of self. It just means that you're very wounded in your no sense of self. But people have been using these things as crutches. They've been hiding behind these secret societies, tools and rules and covens as religious practices, and they're not religious practices. They are suicide missions. They are spiritual killing missions. They are human hunger missions. They are human hunting missions. And it is wrong for any government, it is wrong for any aspect of a social construct to think that going out and killing someone intentionally with malice and with cruel intentions over years and years at a time to sabotage them and delay them and derail them on every level, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, which is what these slow dagger programs are. These slow dagger programs from the elites that were directed, that are paying the secret cults and covens, aspects of the inheritances of these people that are on the list to target, these people that are on the list to bring into their shadow government victim list. And there's many of the people, those of us that have been here for so long, those of us that are a part of our ancestral's inheritance. Inheritance is going to become a multifaceted experience. Every ascension cycle, you're going to be gifted things from your inheritances, and that is your heavenly inheritances, and that encompasses your ancestor, your earthly inheritances, what you've been left from your earth family, if you will. So it encompasses many things, and of course the blessings that Mother, Father, God want to give you for your service and your devotion and your beautiful friendships for those that are having a tough time, and you've always been there as the beautiful beings on the line that I'm going to dedicate this show for. And she knows who she is, and they're beautifully protected and they're beautifully blessed and guided until we reach into that 5D stage. These beings are the ones that have been there without question, that have been there without validation, haven't had to question or bring myself to any state of validating myself to any of these people. They knew from day one when they heard my radio show that that my energy was Christed, and we had many timelines together, so it was just a matter of us picking up where we left off. But there is a channel I want to get through Commander Ashtar, but I needed to go over Commander Ashtar, Mother, Father, God, and Archangel Michael. Can you please send energies through to the all of those that have logged on? We just saw that there was 20 that logged on and then they just logged off. So can we just send energies to create healing and protection for those of us that do choose to learn in the higher vibrational light and love? Those that are here to just throw magic and stuff, your magic is going to be sent right back to you. And so Archangel Michael and the angels will be blessing all of us with the highest light. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Archangel Michael. I do have my universal rights to be here. I do have my universal rights to be fully who I am. I do have my universal rights to express and experience myself in every way that I am able, in the most expanded way that I'm able. That's called evolution. Humanity is at a pivot point where we're going places where we've never gone before, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and metaphysically. And we're allowing ourselves to, as we said, those inherited gifts that each and every one of us do get, and we do get activated in those codons, and they're activated in many different ways. Sometimes they're little downloads in our fields that we get to activate, and this is why we say you have to go in and you have to unpack them, because it's in that practicing of engaging with that energy where that spark and that quantum and that ion is activated. So you do have to actually take part in it. Just having it sit in your field is not enough. You do actually have to go in and do the daily ascension pathwork. Everything that I have created is because I just sit down as a channel writer and I just start drawing, or I just start calling in the download, and then I start writing and writing and writing and writing. That's part of my gifts. I'm a channel writer. I'm a writer. I'm an orator. So anytime that I have paper and a pen, I just start writing and I call forward the downloads. And so that's part of your clairs. That's part of you using those clairs, using your gifts from your ancestors, from all of your other lifetimes, and you're using it in this harmonized now moment, because there is only now. 5D Earth will only be now. There will be no linearity in 5D. We're just going to be moving into a now experience where everything is now. Our consciousness co-creates now, and we have to learn and we have to map our way around. We have to navigate our way around all of these things that are highly multidimensional and highly profoundly magnetizing. And we have to understand physics, and we have to understand who we are, what we exist within, and what's going on with us at a very quantum level. And that is Source Creator, and the omnipresence is always being offered to us as the omni fields, as the omni God, and the God reflecting it back to us to see where are we at in this moment of our cycle of ascension. Are we practicing old karmic patterns in the negative, or are we practicing higher positive patterns? And that's for every person to choose. Nobody's going to hold hands with anybody. Nobody's going to force anybody. Nobody's going to do the path for them, and nobody's going to do the work for them. Nobody's going to go back and fix it for anybody, especially with those from Calgary. Spirit wants me just to say, those from Calgary, I'm not here for your benefit. I'm not here for your pounding station. I'm not here for your dumping ground. I'm not here for, and I'm not here for, I will not be used by you. I will not be giving an ounce. I will not be giving an inch. I'm not giving anything to anybody from Calgary. And the people that were involved, 45 to 135 people, I'm not giving anything to anybody. Source and myself and all of the ancestors and all of the lineages will not allow anyone to take from me. They will not allow anybody to steal. They will not allow anybody to do what has been done to me. And that is the swarming of the cults and the covens trying to get back in, to start harvesting and binding and getting rooted back into my energy so that they can start stealing and thieving from me again. Everything has been cut off. Everything has been removed. All the cords have been removed. All the timelines, all the stories have been removed. And yes, there are some of you that are awakening at the last minute. And now that you see that, yes, maybe you were put under a spell, or maybe you were done this, the 45 to 135 that have been involved, this has been going on since the day that I was born. Everybody that's brought into this colossal, diabolical betrayal of human hunting and human sabotage of my life and taking out God's divine daughter, the twin ray of Jesus, and the divine feminine goddess on this planet that is meant to bring humanity into a higher evolution and is the highest healing agent that has been on this planet in eons to ever walk the soils that I have walked. And all of you have to take accountability, all of you, from up to the 135, and so far none have. You might feel a little bit of guilt here and there, but as of last full moon, which is just a couple of days ago, you were still doing magic and takeout spells on me. There is not a day that goes by that I don't have to clear energy of suicide death notes and graveyard spells and all of these things that everybody impales on me on a group and a gang level. And the governments know exactly what's going on, and the governments don't have any right to incite little warnings about them having to protect themselves because there might be a little upheaval coming on when they're the ones that are absolutely holding the agendas that have incited such war to the highest healing agents on this planet. And they are not taking accountability. They are not taking ownership. Nobody has taken ownership of what has been done. And therefore, thus then, your karma will be worse. As we said, you are just moving through the actual physical tangibility. Everybody that's involved in cults and sacrificing, everybody that's involved in corrupt masons, everybody that's involved in shadow governments, everybody that is involved in corrupting humanity, whether it be the underground trafficking, whether it be RICO crimes, whether it be any of those that are taking out innocent people for no reason at all but inheritance. And underground black magic and black web cult chasing and clout chasing, which is what was done on my name. People transferring my name to false marriages and all of those things. There is no contract that is substantiated in the spiritual realm or this realm when it is not agreed upon and signed upon on the other party's half. So therefore, thus then, any of those passing back and forth of anybody's name is nil and void. And it doesn't mean shit. First of all. Second of all, I'll take you to court, each and every one of you, for every time a piece of paper was transferred back and forth, and you'll be in jail for the rest of your lives. And then. So it'll be your forever into eternity, you will be in jail, you will be in the mud realm, you will be in the Epstein earth, and it will be entropy. Because again, you will not manifest a body if there is no light. We've been through this 100 times. We're still giving you the same messages, people. But people are still thinking, maybe I can get out of it and I can dump my karma somewhere. I can swap this and I can swap that and I can use the children's souls and I can use the children's chakras and I can use the children's destinies and I can swap things back and forth. There's still people running around at the last minute to see how much they can accuse, to see how they can make me look crazy, to see how they can make me look mad and insane. I don't have the wherewithal to wipe my bum. I don't have the wherewithal to know what to eat. I don't have the wherewithal to understand. Well, nobody has bothered to come and talk to me personally. Nobody has bothered to read any of my books that I have self-published and I have self-edited and I've put them on Amazon. They're all my books. I've written them all by myself. Nobody helped with that except my editor on the first one. I've maintained several businesses for self. I've maintained jobs for 6 and 14 and 13 and 15 years in the government and in the banks. I know exactly who I am and I'm a genius, and I will run circles around each and every one of you in criminal court, and it will be found and it will be absolutely validated. And each and every one of you will be found guilty. As we said, the spiritual courts have already spoken. And that's why we use the karma board, because the karma board is the highest board of officials spiritually all the way up to the 13th dimension that assists you and your soul's teams to determine how much karma do you have to work through, how much karma do you have to transmute, how much karma is coming next in your lessons. And these karma boards speak directly with your spirit guides. And your spirit guides are setting up things and tasks and tests and initiations and watching you to see if you're moving forward with the rules and the engagement that you have been given. Every day you're given rules of engagement. Every day you're set people before you that know more than you do. But it is the ego and it is the arrogance and it is the wounding that will not allow you to accept those people that have come forward, even if they are a divine feminine, even if they are divine Messiah feminine. I've been coming forward with 100% truth. And there are big clusters of people on earth, satanic and Luciferian people, that refuse to think that there's a God, refuse to believe that there's a God. I don't care about your beliefs. I'm not here to change them. I simply state truth. I will read your soul's transactions and I will tell you if it's imbalanced or not. And it's up to you to clear it. It's not my job to clear your shit. I bring forward spiritual truths, the spiritual process to evolve, to be ranked, to get your gifts and skills, to be your highest celestial, to be your highest alien, to be your highest human, to be your highest spirit, to transcend every one of your woundings so that you can heal your body, manifest it overnight. To have infinite abundance, that you're working with Source Creator for that abundance. It's not about all the money and all the stuff and all the Gucci bags and all this and all that. There's so much wounding. It's because you want to be a beautiful puzzle piece to all creation, and you want to have all that you are being offered to the all and have it equally reciprocal and have it equally honored and have it equally valued and have it equally. That's the connection with spirit that so many of the collective are missing, because they are so disconnected. They don't have anything to do with morals. They don't have anything to do with integrity. They don't have anything to do with ethics. And these are the people that actually are sitting in judicial law. They are sitting in policing, and they are sitting in political leadership positions. And God hath said, the speech and the source channels have already been given. But people refuse to believe that what I say is actual spiritual truth. So then go about your life and you see your karma unfold. Again, I'm not here to make anybody believe. Your karma and your moving through your life path will prove to you that you are exactly getting exactly what you have put out. And the crimes against me have been absolutely nothing but hunting and malicious and cruel and unusual. And not one person has done anything to make it right. And each and every one of you, there is no more time left. There's no more mercy left. Everything is closed and the courts are now dishing out karma tenfold. And every day that goes by, there's more and more and more and more karma. And that is what's being seen on the physical realm. This has been going on for 6 months. Everybody's been given 3 years to make right. Everybody's given 3 years to alter course. Everybody's given 3 years to actually follow the basic common human laws that each and every one of you in every one of your jobs have taken your oath of. Divine fairness and balance and safety to all humans, without prejudice, without discrimination on these lands and soils. And we abide by thee. These are the human rights, and there are commissions, and there are councils, and there are groups, and there are actual commissionaries that ensure that human rights are going to be adhered to. And there are commissions in every province and every state. And the Human Rights Commissions will look at every complaint and they will bring it forward to see what has been done. And then there will be financial audits, and there will be fine-tooth combs by the Economic Division to pull out every receipt and everything that has ever been posted and transacted between a community and an official, between the community and a group, between the community and a government, between the community and a business, between the community and a banking official. It doesn't matter what that liaison is between those receipts and transactions, and it doesn't matter how hard you tried to hide it, because there's going to be information come out. There's going to be receipts come out. There's going to be whistleblowers that come out, and they will show and they will tell and they will see. Everybody from the 145 knew what they were doing. Everybody was told in the kitchen schemes and plots and discussions and the online chat groups and the online let's make fun of her group and the online let's bully her group and the online let's sign on to her live stream group and the bullying and let's see if we can shadow ban and pilfer her videos and let's have all of these secret societies and the church and state pay YouTube to have her silenced so that nobody ever sees her, so that we can steal as much as we can and we can do as much as we can without anybody even asking questions about her, because she's supposed to be dead or insane or not alive or a porn addict, or she's a psycho on the streets, and she's a psycho selling her body, and she's on drugs every day. She has no idea who she is. You can't even count the number of lies. You can't count it. The lies that have been told on me, the accusations have been absolutely uncountable. They've been uncountable. And how is one person, divine feminine, with no resources, with no support, with no family, because I've been isolated as a part of the slow dagger, how am I supposed to go forward and absolutely move through the egregious daily attacks by elite systems, by elite shadow governments, by elite shadow judges and police, and everybody's got their hands in the pot and everybody got paid? There were elite entertainers that got paid because they were using my energy. The judges and the elite councils that got paid, they were all having a blast, and they were joking about how much fun they were having abusing me. Well, I was sitting absolutely exhausted and having to transmute every single person's cord that was attached to me by the groups of up to 145. And everybody was getting paid. Everybody's getting paid from their exploitations on the black web of me. Everyone was getting paid by the false marriages and false contracts. Everybody was getting paid by the siphoning and the harvesting. Everybody's getting paid by every time they sign on to one of my videos. They're getting the highest vibrational Christ consciousness, getting the highest vibrational predictions. They're getting source consciousness channels. They're getting source consciousness codes. They're getting source consciousness wisdoms and informations. They're getting the highest divine feminine that's ever stepped foot on this planet, which is higher than any divine masculine ever stepped footing on this planet. Because our intuition is so much higher, because I'm fully integrated. I haven't been given 1 ounce and 1 drop of credit, just hate. And because I talk about how much work I've done and how much I've earned, for me, that's my blessing with Source, because I am so humble and I never ever give myself credit for all the work that I've done and just getting up and surviving the absolute shit that nobody on this planet could have survived. Nobody. Nobody could have survived the shit that I have been through. Nobody. None of these men that have done this abuse, none of these men could have ever survived what I survived. None of them. And this is coming right from the hand and the mouth of God. These men could not have survived what they have put my daughter through. And they will face their most egregious karma, and it will be from my wrath of my own hand. Because each and every one of you had been told, many, many years in progress, many, many years we had been watching you in hopes that you would open your hearts, in hopes that you would build bridges for your people that you have said you have all taken oaths for, in your service of. And yet you have the audacity to come forward and face your people and give them speeches of warning and fear-mongering, when you are the very ones that have been doing all the inciting of every single act of war and hate and demolishment of the very said beings that are of the divine nature, of divine blood, of divine royalty. There has never been a divine royalty step on this planet as I. And there has been not 1 ounce of respect. It's been nothing but the most disgusting, abhorrent, diabolical hate and egregiousness. And there's no way that it should have gone on as long and as far and as fast and as wide as it did, with as many people getting paid, while I was left homeless, not eating for weeks and with absolutely nothing, and still being stalked and still being stolen from and still being told that I don't have any rights, I don't matter at all. My videos never getting seen, my channels never opening, even though I was promoting hours and hours a day, while all the other channels of all my other colleagues were going up 2,000 a week. There are so many discriminations, so much blatant hate, so much blatant shadow banning, so much blatant pilfering, so much blatant corrupt shadow government bullshit. And every single person that was involved, the ancestors and the legions, right from the hand of God, has each and every one of your names, and every deed that you have ever done has been seen. So make no mistake, dear lighted ones, you put the little fear announcements out to your public, and you think that you're going to gain some clout and you're going to gain some leverage with that. Every deed that you do and your intention that it is done with is seen and known by God. And that's why the karma board is on your heels. Because you will not clear your karma by doing the same shit that you've been doing for eons before. You're meant to start building bridges, and you're meant to start facing your deeds, being accountable for what you have done. That's how you become a ranked soul, is by being accountable and transcending it with unity and consciousness of that unity. And nobody has shown that except thy before you. And thy before you keeps getting impaled and attacked. And I'm supposed to keep coming forward in the highest vibration while I'm being attacked, while I have nothing, while I have no resources and no support, except for the 1 or 2 clients that don't have it to give. So we tell you this, dear lighted ones, this is the final speech that we will be giving on this topic of the shadow government and the egregious acts that they have been doing in their full knowing, in their full positions, in their full power, abusing it every way. They've abused information they've had at their hands and at their fingertips and on their computers. They have abused technology. They have abused everybody that they have incited inside these bribes and inside these collective schemes and plots and plans to take people out maliciously and with intention. There's been nothing, oh, I didn't know this was going. No, it was absolutely intentional from the day that I was born. There was witches and warlocks and corrupt masons, and everybody in the system knew exactly who I was, and I was pushed off, and I was pushed here, and I was pushed there, and people put in front of me to make sure that I would always be tested, that I would always be put down, and I would always be made numb and dumb. Because they knew what genetics I came with. You knew it. So you cannot play dumb right now, and you cannot keep putting out the same fear-mongering notices and announcements to your collective when you are the ones holding all the danger inciting. Since the Eisenhower days, you haven't changed, have you? You haven't grown on any level. You're still hoping to slide out of your accountabilities and your responsibilities for being great leaders, and you're not. You haven't taken an ounce of accountability to how you've treated these star seeds and lighted ones. You haven't protected them. You haven't supported them. You haven't gone to them even once to find out what consciousness is all about. And how are you going to be a part of healing humanity? Not one of you. Therefore, then you are not a great leader. All you care about is not being accountable. And each and every one of you have been seen by the heavens, your souls and your higher selves and all of your guides and all of your teams and everything that you've been connected with, and every dollar, every penny that has been transferred back and forth, laundered, moved back and forth, recode, trafficked, affiliated business, every penny has been tracked and accounted for. That's what the karma board is. I see ledgers on each and every one of you. I haven't received one penny. I haven't been notified of one document that's ever been said in court. I haven't been notified of any piece of paper on an insurance, a will, or an agreement of banking. I haven't seen one piece of paper. I've signed nothing. Nobody on this planet has a right to say how I am and who I am. I am not insane, I'm a genius. These false blasphemy accusations from those that are such low consciousness, they're mentally deranged because of all the black magic and the voodoo that has been done on them, and even MK Ultra'd and incited of their own micro brainwashing, mind scraping that they have been through. So many of them are not even mentally stable, and why we said about 2 years ago, have these people assessed. Because many of them are not mentally well. And they've still been doing black magic every day, and they've still been inciting danger and putting hits out on the innocent, while these innocent people should be in the collective assisting others to help heal and make new systems of light for all humanity to benefit. All humanity will benefit from these new systems, dear lighted ones. There will no longer be the top 5% elite. There will no longer be the top 5% that are controlling and managing all of the money in the world. This is no more. This is not a fair, balanced human system, and you all know it. There are people going impoverished every day, and nobody's doing anything about it. There are people being trafficked every day, and nobody's doing anything about it. The authorities know who's being trafficked. The authorities know who's coming in and out of jails to make sure that there's more chaos and more drama so that they can keep spinning the wheel. Well, somebody's getting fed. Somebody's getting paid. The light workers of the highest intelligence are not. We're giving out the highest channels. We're giving out the highest notions. We're giving out the highest aligned. I share the highest aligned readers on our platform. I share the highest aligned people that are coming through with indications of the same story of abuse and discrimination. I have to share their channels because mine's not being shared. But that's God's way. Because I help them, they're going to help me. That's God's way. Because we always help each other. That's called unity consciousness. Who's doing that for me? Nobody's doing it for me. Nobody has helped me on 1 ounce except 1 or 2 of my clients. Nobody has helped me. There might be a few in the collective that have decided to take parts of my investigation and do their own research. And they've come up with more than uncountable evidence that abuse has been going on. And the shadow governments have been doing everything they can to hide the evidence, to tamper the evidence, even destroy the evidence. There is going to be karma unfold, and it will be because of the deeds that they have done and no other reason. There is nobody doing anything to them. There is no witch or there's no warlock or there's no hidden entity or deity that's doing anything to them. This is the return of their karma and the damages and the woundings and the taking out of people, the killing of people, the damages they have done to the innocent people that had nothing to do with these people. They had no right to even touch their name, to sign their name, to take a penny from them, or to accuse them of anything when they are not even known. The people that have accused me of anything, the people that have done anything in my name have never, ever met me in person. They have never met me. They don't know me. They are sick and wounded, mentally deranged people that live 100% of their day in lies and black magic and manipulation of truth. From here on out, dear lighted ones, I am an auspice from the heavens, and I walk in truth. I've walked in truth for many of my timelines, and I come as many deities as truth. I come as many entities as truth. Go back to the beginning of time, how many entities and how many deities have been here on truth. And you can call them whatever names you want, I am it. And every time my foot touched the soil, something happens on this planet. And it is something very sacred and divine. And God has coded me this way. I've earned it. Everybody spell the word earn. E-A-R-N. I have earned my right to be who I am to the highest of my potential between God and I as God and I design. I am a multiverse being, and I will bring truth and justice to this planet that has been egregiously taken over by the most greedy, debaucherous, bigoted, arrogant, ignorant, selfish people to ever walk the planet. And they have brought humanity to such disgrace that they sell children back and forth for sex favors and enslavement. And the very divine daughters of the heavens, and this is a story of truth, of the intentional malice and the intentional attacking covertly through dark occult practices done every day, religiously, obsessively, around the clock on one divine healer that has not received one drop of justice until the actual Father's hand and the legions of light and the angelics and Archangel Michael has to put a ring around me of protection will be the only way that I'm walking from realm to realm to realm to realm to do the work that I was born to do. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks in their small, corrupt, degraded, disconnected beliefs think. I'm not here to change your beliefs. I don't care. I am of the heavens. I am 100% of justice and truth because there has been a red flag on this planet. Because of the corruption, which is at its core disconnection. And I have offered in my 17 years of devotion and all my other timelines, my unique healing systems for ascension and the soul's progress and the soul's process through time and space. For you to go to any other evolutionary time period or dimension or thread or realm or planet. These are the truths and the laws that must be adhered to, or you will stay where you stay until you get it. And these are truths. Your church and your state will not tell you this. They do not know. It's been suppressed. Your soul has a process to evolve. It is through the Merkaba. It is through the light body. And you cannot become light if you live in hate and karmic patterns of your wounding. 51% of your karma is what you are contracted to transmute all on your own, because you have to know why you're here, what you're doing, and why you're doing it, and what is within you, and what do you exist within. These are truths of the soul's process to evolve. It matters not if you do believe it or not. You can choose to move forward in evolution with your soul and your lineage and do the very best that you can to become a healed, unified being of light. To accept light into your life, to work with light into your life, which has been the word we have called God. God is all creation. God is dark as well as light. And in the dark, there is always light. That's God's promise to you. There will always be duality because it helps inspire you to ignite that ion, to move something different, to be that quark, to be that intention, to be that direction, to be that focus of new. And I teach it. I will not be continually blasphemed. I will not be continually derailed and delayed and taken down. On a daily basis, I will not continually be stalked at all hours of the night and day, because ignorance refuses to see that there is a process for how your soul moves through all space and all existence of consciousness that is source creator. Church and state has got so many people confused. Source creator, the omnipresence, is how we move through all consciousness. Your return to source, your return to consciousness in full awareness, in full awareness and full awakenedness. I am an aspect of source, and there are infinite aspects of the omnipresent source creator that reflects itself back to me so that I can heal and unify with my allness. That is consciousness, and it has to be earned. It can only be earned if you're doing the daily path work. Do the healing. 51% of your karma is your responsibility. Nobody does it for you. And every video I've said, anybody that would like an Ascension Pathwork session, anybody that would like a Soul Blueprint session, anybody that would like to align with their 5D vocation, everybody that would like to align with their higher selves and get connected with their teams, get connected with their higher selves, this is the way through, dear lighted ones. Church and state won't get you there. They are not aligned with their higher state. They have shown you there are shadow governments, there are governments and there are policing, and there are actual people in systems that are getting paid to make sure that people do not ever walk free. That the pedophiles still walk, that the criminals still walk, sex offenders walk, these sex cults walk, and all they do is bring damage and harm and obliteration to the innocent souls that have done absolutely nothing to anybody except bring love and truth and justice. My voice is to be heard throughout the multiverse, and I will never sit down. I will never, ever be okay sitting down on such horrible conformities. I am like a wave that has never hit this planet before, and it is in light and truth and the clarity of who we are as multi-vibrational, multi-dimensional, multiversal beings of light. You don't have to be here. Get off my channel if it bothers you. Go find another channel that you're conformed within. I have my right to be who I am. I have my right for my channel to be open. I have my right for my voice to be heard. I have my right to be left alone. If you can incite and have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of beings that you communicate with all over the globe for your satanic, Luciferian, take people out rituals, where you're doing spell work and you're practicing on people and people just show up dead every day because you're practicing your death spells and your graveyard magic, and your blood magic, and your root work magic, and your binding magic, and your jar magic, and your voodoo doll magic, and all the things that have been done on me are uncountable. Uncountable. And I walk around with a precious heart healing. All I care about is my job here. To heal as the collective and stand on the roots and stand on the soils to anchor Christic light. Go back and do your research. Every radio show has been the same intention. Every day that I wake up, it has been the same intention. I don't lie. I don't touch anybody else's life. I don't go into anybody else's lane, and I don't do spell work. I have no money to my name. I have been celibate for over 14 years. I have been estranged for over 8 years. I do not speak with my ex. I would rather if I never speak with him for the rest of my life until the end of eternity. He has been banished from my soul. He's been banished from my fields. He's been banished from my energy. Him and every single person he belongs with. They have been banished because of the abuse and unconscionable acts. And they have been paid. Every one of these people have been paid to abuse me, to hunt me. Interpol investigations, these crimes need to be investigated and a financial audit on every single one of them. And their names will be known and every deed will be known so that we can research and we can create healing. As we have said from day one, you go into these underground cults to think that you're resolving something because of the loss of power and the no sense of self that you have. And you think that you want to have power over others, and you think that you want to gain something. You want to use these dark deities and these dark groups and these dark cults to get stuff. That's never going to solve your wounded issues. Go heal. You still need to reconnect with every aspect of the 51% that you are doing these things to incite power over others, to incite fear over others, to incite domination over others. It is never the answer. Magic will never be your answer. Sacrificing is premeditated murder. All of these things will never be your answer. You will never, ever, 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 ever in a billion fucking evers ever be ranked. Ever. And we keep saying the same thing. And every full moon, a couple of days ago, I was still lambasted with more sex magic and more magic that I had to transmute. Even though I'm protected, because you gathered more people to do it, because you gathered more intention to take me out no matter what will get the job done. No, you won't. I've been given autonomy and eternal life. You will not take me out. God will bless me with a new body the very next day. You're not getting it, dear lighted ones. I outrank you. I will always outrank you because I have been the one every day doing the inner work. No matter how much I'm hated for people in their own wounding, because I'm just the mirror to you, of you. I'm not your issue. I never was. I don't even know you, and you don't know me. You don't know my private moments. You don't know anything about me. Except the ones that have placed illegal cameras and illegal hacking and stalking and spying, again, illegal. More than 17 egregious federal crimes by the shadow government and by these people that have been officials with jobs that have bars and titles and letters behind their names and wear robes and uniforms. And state very proudly, and state with great pretending that they are for the people. And yet the ones that are bringing forward the highest level of human systems to help repair and to help heal and to help bring a higher consciousness, to help bring higher fairness, to help bring higher healing, to help bring higher fairness to all peoples, to lift the disenfranchised, to lift the humans, to lift the children being trafficked, to heal the children being trafficked. There is no other person that has stood before all of you that has taken the ones that have been abused the most and lifted them the highest. And it has been me. And yet I have been continually accused of being the criminal. I have been the one that has been accused of bringing on and being on watch lists because you can't handle me, you can't control me. I am the gentlest person on this planet. And I do have authority to make sure that your trees and your homes and your generations will be shaken until there is justice brought. You don't have entitlement to abuse me because you sit in misogyny and hate. The leadership on these countries, in these counties, and in these continents have been egregious. You do not care for the people. You care for the control of your business, period. and why you put more tariffs in, and why you do more tax raises, and why you do this and why you do that. But your businesses are growing and being more abundant every day, while people are becoming more impoverished in every community every day. And they're choosing to do so because they don't want to be trafficked. And if they stand up for themselves and if they speak for themselves, then you're going to make their life as hell as possible with the secret cults and societies that will make sure they systematically abuse every person that says no to trafficking. And those people end up being on the street because they did stand up for themselves and they did say no. Because their families didn't support them. Because their families were so easily well paid by the dark minions of the shadow government and the shadow Epstein agendas. Everything that I have predicted has been coming true, and you all know it. And yet I have been the one that's been impaled the most because you can't control me and you can't shut me up and you cannot kill me. What does that say, dear lighted ones? I am of the hand of God. And God does not care either way if you believe. Your karma will be equal to your deeds and your intention. Period. That is law. I am the higher order. I am the higher spiritual order. I am justice through and through, and every deity since the beginning of time is in my blood and veins. You've been told 100 times or more. Everything that you do to me is coming back to you. That's your karma. Nobody's doing anything to you. It's you. You've refused to heal. You've refused to look at yourself in the mirror. You've refused to look at your shadow. You've refused to heal. There are monies that have been spent and taken and spent on orgies and partying and houses and gifts for yourselves while you danced around and partied about how much you abused me. The most beautiful, sensitive, gentle person on the planet, just as you did my brother Jesus. Are you going to place my body that's been bruised and slashed 1,000 times on a cross as well, so that every time you walk into a church or a building, you're going to be reminded of how much damage you've done? See, now that I'm consciously awake and I'm aware, I speak that of Jesus. That was never Jesus's intention, for you to put up a cross of his dead body all over every church and all over the world. That was never the intention. The intention was never for you to walk around feeling guilty for the rest of your lives, thinking that you've got to forgive and redeem yourselves every time you walk into a church. That's not the notion, dear lighted ones. The notion is to live as joyfully as you can as a sacred child. What is the point of the crucifixion? What was the point? It was absolute discrimination. But his life was a message and a lesson. It didn't have to get that far. That was the message. Didn't have to get that far. You don't have to attack me, you are me. How about you heal? Same message. Aren't we saying that 5,000 years later? How about you heal? How about you take responsibility? How about you take accountability and stop being narcissistic and do the healing? Look at your sexual depressions, look at your sexual suppressions, look at your sexual issues, and get wise. Get intelligent, dear lighted ones. To be a fully integrated soul, you will have affections and you will have ideals and you will have things you have to sort out with the same sex. So get over it. 5D, you will be completely androgynous. You can choose whatever you want in 5D. You can change your body overnight if you want in 5D. Get over it, people. And what is holding you back with your beliefs and your ideologies about separation, how you impale people and you defame people and you accuse people, and yet right behind the very doors, you're doing the very egregious things that you have blamed and accused people of. And you've had paperwork debaucherously filed out and filmed. And you've actually had them signed by false people, doppelgangers. You've even had doppelgangers in videos pretending to be me and false people signing. I've signed nothing in 8 years but my divorce. I haven't received a penny from all of these egregious acts. And therefore, thus then, God asks you for each and every one of you, and you better think about this very hard. Think about this very clearly and very truly, because this is your test, divine humanity. In all of the acts that have been done by those that have been doing them, paying, inciting, directing, all the harms in the dark occult, every spell put forward, every voodoo, every pin in a doll, every false piece of paper, every false fabrication, every false accusation, every fabrication, every lie, every ID from her birth chart, everything that has been done on her name, in the black underground and the exploiting of her name. This is your test, dear lighted ones. Each and every one of you, this is from the mouth of the hand of the Father and the heart of the Father, to find out where your souls are at, because the windows are now closed. There is no more further mercy. There is no more further extensions of any timelines. Karma will continue to unfold. You need to face yourself in the mirror and you need to say, at what point of this was my accountability? At what part did I absolutely take conscious knowing of that I was taking money to take people out and to fix paperwork that were absolutely illegal and false, against the human rights, against the very laws that I stand for, against the very laws that my children will be brought up under? And this is your legacy. And do you care about the evolution of your soul? Because your very next act and your very next making it right and bringing truth will dictate it so. That is just law. Because you are the commandment ship, you are the owner, you are the only one that is directing the ship of your vessel. And that was Jesus's message. You are me, dear lighted ones. You are the commandment ship of your vessel. Who are you? Stop giving your power away and reclaim who you are. That is 5D liberties. That is 5D commandmentship. That is 5D self-design. And you get to activate your DNA that is very special, that is very galactic, that is very celestial. These are truths, dear lighted ones. So don't go inciting that a beautiful, beautiful, divine, heavenly daughter of a healing ship that has never been here before on this planet, of her star cluster. Don't ever, ever accuse her of being alien and dangerous. Meanwhile, behind all the hidden doors and behind all the darkness, you have done all the most egregious things and the most dangerous acts on any one human. And she has survived it all. How dare you? And that's why each and every one of you are going to be getting the most egregious karma. Each and every one of you. And it is your own return. It is nobody doing anything to you. It is your return of your egregious acts. Because you're not going to be entitled to abuse anymore. And we told you that. We said it 6 years ago. When a divine feminine says no, it means no. Get out of her field. Calgary, you don't have a right to continually touch her energy. You have been told no 1,000,000 times. Stay away from her. There will be no reconciliation. She has said it and stated it. There has been no return. There has been no apology. There has been no repayment of any monies. While you treated her worse than dirt. And she gave you truth and love and unconditional giving, all of you. She spoon-fed you how to ascend, and you laughed and you bullied and you raped from her to see how much you could take from her and how much you could make from her while you did nothing for humanity. Nothing. You brought danger, you brought darkness, you brought disease. Therefore, thus then, your karma is equal. It can be no other way. Draw it out. This is the word of the day, dear lighted ones, and this does not have anything to do with those beings that have been with me since the very first day of my very first radio show. These channels are for Commander Ashtar, for those of us going forward and using our clairs and using our activated DNA, and these sessions of the shadow government are being pulled out. They're no longer active, they're being pulled. They're being pulled from the timelines. And everybody that's involved in shadow government, corrupt masons, corrupt witches, corrupt warlocks, you've been told 100,000,000 times. Make sure you're following universal law, tune in with your higher selves, or you're going to get karma equal. It is just that way, because you will not continue on this planet of ascension if you're not moving on the rules and the laws of evolution. You will be shifted off. If you do not respect life, if you do not respect basic universal order, stay out of people's lanes, right use of free will, and non-interference. You don't have a right to interfere with anybody's life. And that goes to every political leader. You don't have a right to put anybody on a watch list when they have done nothing to you except show you that they are beyond your intelligence. How dare you? She will be taken off every one of your watch lists. And if you ever wish her to help you and assist you in rebuilding your systems, which will have to be done because they are corrupt and they are imbalanced and they are nothing that's going towards the people, and you all know it. You're about making money as greedily as you can for your big businesses and to gain as much information all you can from your people. Because you think it puts you in a race against other countries that are also out about the information raping systems. Let's get as much information as we can, because then information, if we get their information, that's how we control them. No, you won't. You won't control your people. We are moving forward in evolution, dear lighted ones. Get over it. We are meant to love ourselves into healing. We will accept ourselves into healing, and we will forgive ourselves into healing. We will be the compassionate divine star seeds and divine cosmic beings and divine galactic beings and divine angelic beings that we have come here to be. And those that choose not to move on the path of healing, you will be finding yourself moved, and you will be on an Epstein earth that is your vibration of hate and non-healing. You chose that. You are choosing everything that unfolds. You are a creator of your manifested reality. Just you. We've given you the laws. We've given you the rules. And now it's facing you, as we said it would 6 months ago. The spiritual then mixed and down into the physical. This is what's unfolding. You chose it. Everybody was given 3 years to alter course. Not one penny has made its way to Divine Daughter. And you'd think we had learned all these things after Jesus' crucifixion, and we haven't. There's still as much discrimination as ever, and especially with the Divine Feminine coming forward. Why can't we all just practice love? Isn't that the word of God? Is it not just love? Isn't all life about love? If God hated life, if God was in hate, why would there ever be life? Why would there ever be a beautiful bird that sings a beautiful song? Why would there ever be beautiful animals for us to look at and be in awe of how gentle and graceful they are? Well, then there's just groups and people that just take out their guns and blast them away because you have no connection. You have no connection to love. You have no connection to joy. You have no connection to what God is. God is all life and breath, period. And those of us that respect it, we live in a different way than you do. And we're not going to find conformity in raping. We're not going to find conformity in the black web underground where you're being incestuous and you're raping and you're incesting on people and the pedophiles get to walk around free while you're fixing paperwork for the innocent to go to jail. How egregious, how diabolical. And you will all have to sit in your deeds because every single one of you took money. Every single one of you agreed. Every single one of you agreed to take bribes. Every single one of you agreed to get in your little sex-swinging sex clubs so that other people could be in harm. Therefore, thus then, sit in your chosen karma. You chose it. Perhaps you heal and perhaps you love yourself. Then maybe you might come out of it. That's between you and God. You will not touch my life. You will not touch my energy. I will not come and heal you. I will not fix your life. You sit where you sit for your choices. Period. I said it was over 8 years ago. I had no respect and nobody listened to me and nobody heard me. I just got impaled hate and discrimination and systematic abuse every day. I lost everything and nobody has given 1 hour of care to what's been done to me. Not one person has sat aside and said, what have I done to her? Nobody has cared about the pain and the damage done to me. And this is where God has said has had enough. God has had enough. The shadow governments have been diabolical. Nobody has given an ounce of care to the damages that they have done to the innocent people and the innocent divine heavenly ones that will never be on this planet ever again. And nobody has given a care to what you have done to them. To the psychological, the emotional, and the spiritual abuses you have done to them. There was so much abuse done to me. In only God's favor was I given eternal life. Because for 54 years, I said stop. I said I've had enough. I said I called uncle. I said I called judgment. I said I called uncle. I said I called judgment. And I came on my videos every day calling judgment, calling uncle. And none of you cared. You just kept abusing. That's how sadistic and malicious this has been. And you kept hiding paperwork and fixing paperwork so that I never see the penny or the light of day. And at the end of every day, it will be the same answer. You will have to look at who you are. You will have to look at what you exist within, and you will have to look at what is within you to create such diabolical hate on one divine feminine you have never met that has come forward for the highest versions and the highest liberations of all humanity, because either way, it's going to go extinct if we do not. And how are you intelligent if that is your compass? I offer codes of the highest heavens, dear lighted ones. I am the mother and the father. I am the energies of all deities that have ever created justice from every tribe that has ever walked on this planet. I am of all 13 tribes. It matters not to me what you believe. I don't care. There is such misogyny and hate on this planet towards divine feminine, and it must be changed. Where is the love? I'm not going to stand down. I will be pure love, and I will bring it, and I will be joyful, and I will be sacred, and I will be exploratory, and I will be expression, and I will be the experience of all that is godly, because that's my joy. And I will bring the highest healing systems of light wisdoms and light intelligence, because that's the only way to evolve is through light intelligence. And those are my healing systems I've offered for 17 years. And yet my platforms are still at 0, and I get pilfered 1,000 videos and 1,000 views every time I upload. And I've been paid not one penny. And YouTube corruption, you will be absolutely included in the karma that is unfolding. Every single one of you that have incited harm to my life. And then, and only then, perhaps you will know that God is. Because God did offer you the highest positive path of altering course and being blessed in benevolence and uplifting and bridge building of the highest level of consciousness that will ever be on this planet. And we are at a pivot point, dear lighted ones, which I get so excited about every day. I get so excited every day. We are at a place that humanity has never been before. We are at a place that is of only our making. We have never been in this co-creator, consciousness, conscious awareness place before. And now that we are awakened to how we awaken our gifts, how we awaken our skills, how we use our clairs, how we use our intuition, how we use the divine feminine masculine energies, how we are sacred and respectful of all peoples before us, because they come with a certain perspective that we are here to heal and accept. Whether it's the LGBTQT plus community, whether it is the trans community, whether it is whatever community it is, the Aboriginals and the Aboriginal women, the Indigenous women that have been treated so horribly, so disenfranchised. The most disenfranchised group on this planet are the Indigenous women. And how can each and every one of you be a voice for this, to bring it back in, to bring your elder stories back to life, to bring your elder stories back to your dinner table, to bring your elder stories back to your homes, to start creating new foundations of your home so that nothing will ever break your foundation. The only way to never break your foundation is through truth and integrity and love. As Jesus said, nothing can stand on a faulty foundation. All of these foundations are faulty in every one of our systems, and they must fall. And we've offered for many years now, it can be done by building beautiful bridges of light, and everybody can work together as a team. But so far, there's just more inciting of warnings and fear-mongering, and let's get the celestial humans that are really high advanced that we've helped make and we've helped throw aside and we've helped try to destroy and we've helped try to sabotage and we've helped try to disseminate with their systematic abuse. We've done everything in our power to try and take these innocent people out so that we didn't have to give them back their inheritance. And what do you think God's going to say about that? The payments will be made no matter how long it takes. I will get every single one of my pennies and the numbers and the monies that were taken from me. I've done nothing to anybody. I have been initiated alongside the highest leaders and the politicians and the presidents on this planet. I was right next to you, and I am unblemished. I have incited no harm to none. I am a healer. I don't use magic. I work with the grids and the omnipresent light and the fields of light for all of humanity, for the greater good, and the councils and the committees that I belong within, the galactic federations and the systems of light, for all life, for all hybrid programs, for all programs across the multiverse, because that's evolution. I get that. I know where I am. I'm high consciousness. I get that. I don't have to explain it to anybody. I don't validate anything to anyone. I don't owe anybody on this planet. You're not my jurisdiction. And I will be protected in every way. I will be honored in every way. I will be lifted in every way, and I will be here today and gone tomorrow, because my jurisdiction is the heavens. You will no longer abuse me. You will no longer steal and rape me. You will no longer abuse me in the defamation of my character or blasphemy of my character, and if you do, you have karma immediately. There is nothing that I have done, and all of these accusations of any harm or any malice or any degradation on my character of who I am and what I am have been absolutely false and degrading, and they are untrue on every level. And it will be an acquittal. The daughter will not be touched, as was stated. I have upheld every part of my contracts with all of you. Every one of my contracts on your behalf, with the exception of my clients, every one of your contracts have been in breach. Again, none of you have been fulfilled in your contracts to me. Therefore, thus then, if I do not receive what I am meant to receive by tomorrow at noon, then the contracts are off. And you're liable to wherever source will place you. That's your choice. You chose that. You chose to withhold my birth information. You chose to withhold my birth ID. You chose to withhold and not bring forward you can't even count. It's into the 300 lies that have been told on my life. And the mess going back and forth, and who wants to pass me off now, and who wants to put more lies, and who wants to put more fabrication, who wants to tamper with evidence, who wants to do more. It's into the 300s now. There's been so much done on my life story, and I'm not going to wear an ounce of it. I'm going to move on to my new timeline, and everybody can sit in the mess and the mud that they have created. And they can sort out the 300 and some odd mess and lies and defamations that they've created. I will always receive, and God will make sure that I will receive what I've earned. I've done nothing but give to this planet and give to the collective and give to the multiverse. That's my job. That's my role. I know who I am. I'm unwavering. You will never take the spirit out of me. And boy, you have tried. I am sad for all of you that have done such egregious acts. I have come forward unconditionally and benevolently, even when I have been impaled and I've been on the floor trying to transmute your hate and trying to transmute your suicide and death spells and your sex magic that is disgusting. And the stalkers and the spies and the hackers that get into my accounts to make sure that I never receive anything because you're so hateful. You don't want me to receive love. You don't want me to receive kindness. You don't want me to receive anything because you're so in lack of self of who you are. I've never been your issue. You are. You are your issue. I'm not. I get to be who I am, and I will stand and speak and be as I am. Because I am a leader and I'm a healer, and I will be exactly who I will be. And nobody and no one will write this for me. God is my writer. God is my jurisdiction. Nothing on 3D is my jurisdiction. And I will be lifted. And even every one of you, every single one of you will be in the exact deed that you chose. Because there is karmic law, there is the karmic board, and you're going to sit in the middle of it until you see it. And then you can choose for your own soul. How important is my soul's evolution? Can I transmute this darkness and do something to make it right? And making it right doesn't mean you bring them back into a bondage contract just because you want them with you so you can harvest some more and you can get off on your more abusive. You don't get to see her value after you've gone through every other option. And then when the last option is that there's no other option, then maybe you're going to come around and say, maybe you were right. That's no apology, and that's no growth for your soul. Because the only reason why you're coming back is because there's no other option. You're screwed yourself. We told you this 8 months ago and 8 years ago to go get healed and go get assessed. And you've done everything you've done at a misogyny because you will win over anything. And all you want to do is make sure that I'm dead. You're going to keep going until the plot and the plan is adhered to, which is my death. And then what? You've taken the highest ranking divine feminine from the planet, and then what? I guarantee you, if your story were to go to fruition, and this is God's blessing to you, I want each and every one of you to write this down. I am the golden calf. I am every aspect of justice that has ever walked on this planet. So what does that make for all of you, dear lighted ones? If you take out the only divine feminine of such abundance on this planet, and you take her out, what does that mean for you? Write it out. I want you to write it out. Write out on your infinity. I want you to write it out. I want you to do the work. If you take the golden calf and you kill her, the only highest vibrating divine, celestial, heavenly, royal aspect of love and intuition and abundance, divine feminine and her calf and her abundance and her teats, if you take her out because of your arrogance and your ignorance and your misogyny, because they're your wounds, not mine, what does that tell you and what will that give you? I want you to write it out, and I want you to put an E on one side, on the negative side, and I want you to put an E on the positive side. Will you go extinct or will you evolve? I want you to tell me, because you're so into your pocketbooks, you're so into your money. If you take out the only golden calf on this planet, then what? Oh, genius of Epstein world. Oh, geniuses. Then what? Every day, bit by bit, there will be darkness. And there will be just like it was when Jesus had died. There will be days and years of thunder and lightning, disintegration and darkness. And each and every one of you will go into the darkest demise that you have ever considered and imaginable. But it was so fun dancing on my neck. And is this your compass? Perhaps each and every one of you sit down today and you get on the floor and you pray and you cry and you think, has it been worth it to be so money hungry and superficial and clout chasing? Perhaps I heal the wounds that are within me. Because what has been done is not even worth putting in a book. It can't even be put on a movie screen. That's how vile it has been. Snuff videos. It's so vile, it cannot be put on a screen, that people actually watch real humans take out real humans. That's how sadistic and disconnected and vile these experiences of corrupt and shadow governments, trafficking children and videotaping it and exploiting children and videotaping it and exploiting healers and videotaping their suffering and stalking them and watching them and seeing how they do with their next their attack and see if they're going to come online and how are they doing? Are they feeling sick? Are they feeling pain in their organs? Are they feeling pain in their legs? Did their car crash? This is how vile it has gotten. And it won't even be put into a movie. It's just so disgusting. And I've come forward every day. This is truth. This has been my life. And those that owe me, you need to get the monies and you need to return them before there's any further damage to those done around you. That you're just going to incite on yourself, which will be more karma. And I don't understand people that will go to these lengths as opposed to sitting down and healing and saying sorry. That's how out of balance this world is. Because instead of divine masculine saying, let's build a bridge, let's do something that's right, let's do something for the people, they will bring out little forewarnings of fear and worry, and giving corrupt police higher ranking, giving corrupt judges higher ranking. It doesn't matter. Spiritual court and spiritual law trumps all. There is always higher order to these presidents that stand on their so-called desks of authority. They are being watched on every deed and every intention that they hold. And anybody that wanted to get rid of me because I was bad for business, guess what? I am the only business on this planet. But you haven't got there yet. And we've given it to you in parables and we've given it to you in little syllabuses, but you haven't got it yet. And this was God's test, that God will place the most beautiful star before you and the most abundant and the most precious that is irreplaceable. Irreplaceable as far as your money goes. There's no price that can be put on me, ever. Ever. There is no price that can be put on me. And you know what the trick was? I'm here because I know that. You're in your demise because you don't. And that's why you sit where you sit. Because you have no value for life. And God put the most precious before you just to see what you would do. Here's the channel from Commander Ashtar. Thank you for those that are watching the comments. This is from Commander Ashtar, and then we'll work on I think we've got a little bit of time to work on our things. So there has been enough illegal manipulation on star seeds, especially you. There will be no further allowance for this, and there is no different in mentality to the original breaches of contracts that were done in the 1950s, as we've already mentioned in our videos. So again, it was about that breach of contract that was done for the higher celestials that I played a part. The contract was for us to build that bridge of communication and, us landing as a higher vibrational species to assist humanity in leveling up their consciousness and leveling up to a higher vibration of who are we, what do we exist within, and what is in the same thing. Back in the 1950s, we could have done this, but it was still a greedy transaction to see if they could make an ultra-human out of the celestial DNA of the Ark Orion that had landed, which was another version of me. And so I did go through and I healed that soul fragment, and why I was garnered those extra energies and those skills and those gifts and those talents from that soul fragment. So I take you through the steps of how to heal. And that's part of my role here. So I know exactly who I am and I show it to you, but there's still those that are, anyways. The deeds and agendas and damages were 100% unnecessary. It was merely selfishness, greed, and sadistic humor that these beings had. And it will be proven by the other whistleblowers that will be involved that had taken it upon themselves to be playful and happy and even flaunting the banter and the bullying that they had incited upon your life throughout the many years that this had been taking place. There was a special acuteness to your power and your gifts, and everything that they had thrown at you, you had transcended. It wasn't easy, and I don't wish anything that happened to me, I don't wish it upon anybody. Yes, it means I have great alchemy, and yes, it means I had my celestials. Yes, it means I had my guides. Yes, it means God was watching everything that was being done. The hand of God saved me, The Alliance with Light is what I teach. The Alliance of Light is the name of my 4th book. The Alliance of Light is basically your ascension path work. That's the only reason why I survived. And these people, their intention was to take me out. Their intention was to do it with laughing and to do it with sadistic exploitation. And again, this is what Commander Ashtar and Mother Father God wanted. They want humanity to know that few of them, up until the last couple of days, few of them, because the teams in the spirit have been doing a lot of work with them in the ethers, if they so choose to redeem themselves. Very few of them have sat in any time at all on the damage that they have done to me. They're only concerned right now because they know that everything from their lives are being pulled out. The rugs are being pulled out from each and every one of these 135 or more people that have been involved in tormenting and fabricating and falsely accusing my life, and into these false narrative stories that they don't have any right, that have not been in due process, that have not been in validation or verification on any level in any way. I would have never given my medical information to be released to anybody. I would have never given validation or permissions to any government body, MK Ultra or Project Stargate. I would have never, ever, 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 ever in a billion fucking evers given my authority or permissions to my body, mind, heart, body, and soul or spirit to ever be touched by a military experience on any level in any way, whether it be testing, whether it be electronic or technological warfare, whether it be a cult or coven doing spell work on me. But it's been done since the day I was born. And I've been passed around to every cult and coven for false marriages and just to see how many people can get their jack off on my energy. And they've manifested a lot of stuff while I sat. Literally, I sat homeless getting rained on when it rained here at night. And when it's blowing and windy and cold, I sat with nothing. Everything had been ripped from me. Isolated from my children that I will never get that time back. I will never get the time back with my children. I will never get the past 50 years back. I will never get the 50 years back, and why Father has given me eternal life. That's what makes me so sad. I could have healed millions in these games that these egregious people have played. And they have the audacity to not even come forward with one level or ounce or drop of accountability. Not 1 ounce of accountability to make anything right, but they bring out little stories and little announcements of let's take extra precautions. There might be some little shakeups, when they are the ones that have been inciting such degradous, hideous, sadistic experiences, and they know of their shadow government and who plays along. And what warped masons and what warped witches and warlocks and all these secret communities are getting paid, and they had been getting paid for hundreds of years in these secret society, dark occults, and warped masons. They're all getting paid, except for the people they rape and steal from. And they're left to feel as if they're crazy. Nobody's supporting them. They have no financial support. They have no emotional support. They have no family. They have no friends. They've cut off their platforms. They've cut off their finances. They've had everything go around and financially stranglehold them. And then they laugh about it and exploit them. So God's come up with a new plan. There will be a shift of power. There has to be. It has never been more disgusting than it has been on this planet. In the way that people treat people because of the disconnection, because of the disconnection of spirit, because of the disconnection of care, because of the disconnection of compassion, because of the disconnection of love. Where is the love, dear lighted ones? If you treat the highest divine feminine that has ever come forward just to give information of healing. Go back to my very first radio show. All I have given is truth and healing. But because I offer a vibration that is not like yours, it's supposed to trigger you and inspire you to go within and do your work. I bring such forward light and truth so that you, in your body and in your beliefs and in your patterns and in your perspectives, what is not in truth will show and it will trigger you. That's all I was meant to do. I was meant to be a mirror. What is not in truth within you will be triggered. You're not meant to impale me. You're not meant to act out. You're not meant to impale me with hate. You're not meant to try and take me out. You're not meant to put little trackers on my car. You're not meant to attack me and my children. You're not meant to try and dissect our DNA. You're not meant to study us. You're not meant to treat me like a fucking lab rat, which you had no right to do, and you have been doing it illegally. And not one penny has been seen across my table. They've been the most egregious crimes. Not one penny has been repented to me. Because they don't care. They do not care what they have done. They only care for how they will be seen, their reputations, and getting out of their karma. They don't give a shit about me. They don't care about the monies they've spent and left me in nothing. They don't care about me sleeping on the streets. They don't care about me being in the most highest level of lack that a divine feminine of my quality, of my stature, of my ranking, of my intelligence that has the capacity to transform most of our human systems and heal as many people that can come to me. The courts have spoken. There's guilty verdict across the board. And you all know it. And you have done everything in your power to assure that my heart and body and soul, and that my limbs could be ripped off from every part of my aspect of my torso, if it could be, you would probably do it. And all they care about is their money not coming in, their names being known for their deeds, and them having to sort through and sift through their karma. I will not help you. I'm not your answer. I'm not your redeemer. You stole. You owe me. You lied. You owe me. You will make right on the lies that you have done. You will bring truth to the stories, or you will go down and you will remain in mud for all eternity. And you will never be coming out, and you will never have another incarnation. Those are just the laws. And that's between you and God. And thus far, not one penny is transferred. You all been told where the emails are and the mailing addresses are, and not anything has come to me. I will not meet you in person. I will not have a pop-up discussion with you. I don't care what you need to say or how you need to say it. I don't care. You're 3 years too late. You have hurt me and you have damaged me beyond all recognition. And the only reason I'm here is because of my celestials and my families. Because the human family has done nothing besides the 1 or 2 clients that have saved me. And everything that I do from here on out is dedicated to them. And to the children that I will liberate from the trafficking and the abuse and the abhorration that occurs in every city, because people are so wounded and disconnected from love and light and compassion and who we are as divine beings of life, that the birds and the insects and the animals don't seem to matter anymore. Nor does clean water, nor does clean air. As long as your businesses are rich and lush, as long as you get your big puffy chests out for your sex parties and your orgies and your underground basement dark ass debauchery. That's what it's come to. Black web debauchery. The billion-dollar business that it is, and all innocence of life, and all innocence of everything, and all connection of everything. You're getting MK Ultra'd out, and you're going to be put in secret agendas where you get attacked every day if you survive and claw your way up to speak your truth and speak your rights and speak your human rights. There's even a shadow government that will make sure that you never ever get an ounce of justice. And all of your monies inherited will go to all the corrupt shadow people that have done their job to take you out with every covert spell that has ever been made up and done. And God said, not this time. You have damaged enough lineages, you've damaged enough innocent, you've damaged enough star seeds. This will never ever happen ever again. And each and every one of you will be in the equal karma that you have dished out to everybody. And it will be a story known to all of humanity, for all timelines, for all galaxies, for here until evermore, because I am truth and justice, and enough is enough. There's only so much before it becomes absolutely ridiculous. It's beyond overkill. You are in complete correctness in explaining the soul's blueprint and the design into each aspect of the process of ascension. There is no thing as entitlement to abuse and to take life. There is no rule or law that states such. In this universe, there is no rule or law that states you can take life whenever you choose. The delusions of power and the given opportunities that each have had for over the years, they have all had the basic common sense to do unto others for whatever the collective woundings have been in their own lineages, in their own personal experiences. They have had enough opportunity to come forward and do the very bare minimum and make it right for themselves and their own redemption, to step beyond gluttony and misogyny. They these were in some part co-creative contracts, because I did choose some of those contracts so that I could improve my skills and I can improve my strength. So there was some of those contracts that were, and also I had to work off some karma too. So I get that. There was some of those contracts that were absolutely in co-creative experience. I get that. So that's what Commander Ashtar was saying. These were in some part co-creative contracts for your destiny upon the earth, but these groups, people, and false government took it far beyond what have ever been imagined. Their intent was full abomination to your existence and to do whatever was necessary to release you and to divide all of your net worth. There were thought out strategies, plans, and torturing of your innocence. The delights of who you have been as a divine being was seen not by these beings, but to the taking of your wealth, that it did not matter about any divine plan or your soul's blueprint or your destiny, but the only taking of all that you have been worth. To the counsels that you are precious, and there's no price that can be put on me, obviously. You have been unblemished in your life upon this segment of your journey in the divine plan, and only accusations first, then, I can't read what I wrote. Then the damage to your offering in the divine, the full damage that was done to your divine reputation will then be met with equal fervor. So again, the karmic return is equal fervor. What has been done to my divine reputation on the planet, and because so much time has been wasted, so many timelines have been screwed with, so my soul and my energy and my cells and my physical, everything's been screwed with because of the relentless 24/7 attacking of hate. Because there's been so much that has been done, and the malevolence to my divine reputation, it will be done equally to all others involved. So they were just saying that's their karma. The outrageous, crude abuses to sensitives on this planet and those reaching beyond control tactics and control agendas, it will no longer be tolerated. You have been advising through your healing systems how to discern, how to reclaim your power, how to work with your light and build an alliance with all of the heavenly beings through the higher self and through each and every one of your guides and your teams. Every human on your planet has the same such ability and potential and access to us all. And in every human circumstances, you have taught everybody through the way. There will be offered the same protection to any other human that finds themselves in a similar situation if they move through the processes similar to what you have brought forward and spoon-fed everybody. So basically, reclaim in all of our ascension process, that's what they're saying, is that they will be met with the same protection. The heavens will come in and assist you. The heavens will come in and protect you. The heavens will come in and do all of these things that have brought me here to my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my alliance with light. So anybody that, and again, it doesn't matter to me because I don't care. Anybody that says there's not a God, I wouldn't be here if there wasn't God. I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be doing the channelings, and I wouldn't be doing all of these things. But that's up to them to sort out. I don't care. I don't want to shift their beliefs. But the planet needs to evolve. It's been stuck and suppressed behind these experiences that have been so hateful and disconnecting from spirit. Our moment for moment breath and our connection with breath, our connection with love, our connection with who we are as spirit is everything to our evolution. And it's practiced nowhere. It's talked about nowhere. And those of us, if we do talk about it, our channels get shadow banned and we get put aside, and everything that we are as a sensitive gets attacked. There is absolute agendas for those of us that come forward with higher intelligence. That's discrimination. That's against every human right. Nobody has a right to shadow ban my channel. Nobody has a right to put 1,000 of my views on hold until somebody sorts something out. It goes against all human rights. And yet they get to put snuff videos on of humans killing humans. How's that okay? I get to teach people how to reclaim their power. I get to teach people how to reclaim their light. I get to teach people how to stand in their power so the shadow government cannot touch them and rape them and traffic them. And how to discern when somebody that's coming on bringing an announcement, if it's true or not, or if it's actually they're inciting and wanting to throw people off and wanting to throw people into the question and discernibility of who's the real victim and who's the real outcast. You've already made it very clear. Because I don't have to be here. I don't have to be here helping humanity. I don't. I don't have to be the healer that I am. I don't have to be the teacher that I am. I don't have to give all of these healing systems, or you can go into extinction and you can keep doing what you're doing. I don't have to be here. And as I said earlier, if you take off the golden calf, then what? If you take away the sun, then what? And there are some on the planet that are so egregiously misogynistic that they will ever in their lifetime, ever give an ounce or a pound of credit or worth to a divine feminine that says that she is this much importance. And God will show you tenfold that I am. And your world will be nothing but darkness and mud and the weights of every heaven upon you. And you will never escape that weight because you have asked for it. In all of your ignorance, to think that you are beyond any other on this planet. And the divine feminine was placed before you for each and every one of you to heal your woundings. And are you getting it? And it goes the same for Indigenous Aboriginal women, for the elders, and for the children, for high functioning, for autistic, for those of us that express ourselves in new and high functioning ways. So what? Leave us alone, stay in your lane, and let us do our job. And we will be paid for it, and we will be loved, and we will be seen, and we will be the new leaders of this planet. Because there is a shifting out of corrupt leadership. You will not traffic and sell and exploit life to the degrees that has been done. And wasting money on illegal programs and nuclear programs and inciting war programs while you hogtie the light workers in just hopes that they'll commit suicide. The Father has other plans, dear lighted ones, and the Father is now the driver of the ship. Reclaim your power. You have equal rights to call upon the heavenly councils and the galactic federations for assistance if you are going through systematic abuse and you are a victim of systematic abuse. Get out of the cults and covens that want you to do spell work and harm people. What was your clue? Anybody that incites harm and damage to another, get out. What was your last clue? You will never gain a blessing by killing people, ever. You will never gain in ranking by doing such, ever. Unless you're doing so on behalf of Archangel Michael and on behalf of the heavens that have said karmic time is over and do now. You will not hurt another innocent child. You will not hurt the divine feminine again. And that is by the hand of God that only that transaction occurs. And they have their direction. Nobody's doing anything to you. It is the hand of God providing the karma that is equally owed. This has been 50 years of my life. My entire life has been put under a spell and a hex and a vortex of shit. Because other people are so wounded. They did not want me to shine better than they were. In all their corrupt heartness and disconnection of vileness. And every time I made my way up and every time I stood up, I was put back down by more spells and more curses and more mental manipulation. And you're not this and you're not that. And how crazy are you? That's not how it is. This is how it is. I got the story. I'm the right one. I'm the right one. I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to win no matter what. I'm a misogynist. I don't know who I am. So I'm going to take your story. I'm going to take your work and make it mine. And then I'm going to swap destinies because as low as vibrational as I am, and I take people out and I sacrifice people and I kill people and I lie on paperwork and I lie in court and I lie on documents and I lie in every way that I could lie. I'm going to hold your high vibrational gifts. You don't know anything. That's how ignorant you are. Cults and covens that behave in this way, you're going to be shifted out. You've been given enough forewarning. Everything that has been predicted is now facing everybody for them to look at who they are, those that have been falsely blamed and accused, to incite danger upon a 50-year life plan that has been yours. There has been nothing of the such that has been done to bring your life into balance on any level but by the divine beings that are working on my behalf. They're the only ones that are bringing me balance. They're the only ones. The heavens are the only ones that are doing their job to everybody on earth here to force into action anything to come forward to me. Nobody has done it on their pure accord. They're working in the background right now on a few things. And that's because God has made these people awake to what has been done. And now there's people acting on my behalf, protecting me. There's going to be people acting on my behalf to move these people out of my way. As we said in my last video, I will have my own bodyguards on earth. And they will have the permission by God to do what is necessary to get these people out of my way. Because I am here to trigger you to look at who you are. That's it. I don't care about your beliefs. Go do your path work. This planet will ascend. This is the blessing of our planet, to ascend into eternal life. If you choose not to take it, leave everybody alone and go about your way. You don't have the right to enforce hate, to enforce crime, to enforce exploitation, to enforce trafficking, to enforce harvesting, to enforce the damage that has been done, just because you want to play your hate game. You don't have the right. You never did, and you never will. Your little cults and covens mean nothing to the universal karmic board, to the universal spiritual courts. You are all known. Every single one of you are known. Every single one of your deeds are known. Every single intention, thought, word, and deed are known. Every person you have harmed, every person you have taken out, every person you have swayed from getting justice on any level, everything is known. Everything is known. Everything is known. You will not and cannot hide anything. And why there will be karma unfold in the coming days that will be unexplainable, it will be mysterious, and it will be in the unseen. And things will just be unexplainable because the deeds have been that egregious. And they did not care an ounce to make it right on the people they have harmed. There will be no more trafficking and tormenting of the innocent. They are here to raise the consciousness of the planet. Step aside and go heal your hate. You will not control us. There has been illegal abusing of the law on every level that has been established to assure that all within your collective have fair and just treatment. This has not been. There has been abuse of the laws, of the universal laws, of the criminal laws, of the human rights laws on every level. There has been no justice in any way. There has been paperwork fabricated. There has been stories fabricated. And there has been those that have been supporting the fabrication, while you have been sitting with absolutely nothing and nobody lifting you up. We will not remove ourselves from our post upon their necks. This is from Commander Ashtar. We will not remove ourselves from our post, which is upon their necks, and the outcome to their original state through which their intentions and their deeds were given and impaled through time. Every aspect of life that they had known, that they had done to you and others, many lives were taken and put at risk. There has been no payback or directing of apology. There has been no making right in any way. And therefore, thus then, the hunting and the haunting will be unto the direct sabotaging that has been done to you over 50 years, where things never worked out, families were destroyed, relationships were destroyed, things just fell apart, accidents just happened, losses just happened, and your work never grew. Over 50 years, this is unheard of. 178 lies that have been encumbered with your life, and the Father has said enough is enough. For the third and final time that we have given opportunities for everybody upon earth to alter course and become a part of eternal life, all have been given ample opportunities to your own soul's desire to wake up. Each and every one of you are one to each other. But they have not. The pressure that they will feel will be to the every corrupt leader that they have chosen to be to themselves, because they have chosen to corrupt themselves within the human abuses and not to be the divine ambassadors that most of their jobs and roles and the oaths that they have taken have accounted them to be. There will be no further advancement for these souls, and there will be advancement within the creative collective for the ambassadors of truth and justice to come forward and be placed within their roles by the Father's hand. So the Father was going to be placing the leaders in the leadership positions, because there's just so much corruption. And so that's what we've been saying too. You like just follow your excitement and God's going to place you, right? Because it's going to be, it's all about consciousness. If we're not talking about consciousness every day, and we're not understanding consciousness, we're not healing consciousness, we're not working towards consciousness, it's going to be a moot point. Everything is about consciousness from here on out. Everything is consciousness. Everybody's getting their IP addresses. Their IP addresses are being investigated. And again, you can tell where they're, even if you go through the most horrible things that have happened, they're still going to come forward with their ignorant comments. I surrender it all to you, Father. It doesn't matter what we say, Father. It doesn't matter what we say. There are those people that will still go down with their guns blazing, and they don't care about life. They don't care. So again, what good is your money when you're going to be sitting on Epstein Earth in a diseased body and you're going to be going nowhere but hell? What good is your money? What good is your satanic cult? What good is your satanic club when you're just sitting in a diseased body with money beside you and nobody is there because there's no life and there's no light, and you're never going to incarnate ever again? You're going to go further into darkness. So what good is your money? What good are your smart ass comments? What good are your smart ass bantering back and forth? This is the last 3D timeline. There is no other 3D timeline. You will never ever come back in a 3D timeline on this earth. There will be no 3D timeline for this earth. There isn't. We're moving into 5D. The 3D timelines are being pulled and transmuted. We are heading into 5D consciousness. And if you're not there and choose and refuse to do the healing, you will be pulled out. You cannot go along for the ride if you are not healing. If you are not raising your consciousness through choice, if you are intending not to raise into unity consciousness, if you are intending not to move into eternal life because you just want to be so hateful, if you just don't want to heal, if you just don't care, and if you just want to be a smartass and throw your comments around thinking that that's going to get you somewhere, it will get you Epstein Earth and never into a body again. These are just truths. And if that's a joke to you, then let it be a joke. You know nothing about life. You're so disconnected that it's a joke to you, and so be it. But there are people here that absolutely do respect life. They care about the children. They care about the earth. We are ambassadors here for thousands and thousands of years, and we deserve our opportunity to be exactly who we want to be. You don't have a right to stop us or incite us or bully us. You don't have that right. If you want to be hateful, go be hateful. Off my channel, and you will get karma equally. I don't deserve the daily abuse. I don't deserve the daily sabotaging. I don't deserve to sit in poverty every day because all of the haters want to go out and party and have a sex orgy to see how much they can manifest off my light. So although they hate me and although they want me off the planet, but they want a sex orgy off my light, and they want to copy all my content. Isn't that a double standard? You want me out of here, but you want to copy all my work? You want me out of here, but you're making money off me? You want me out of here, but you're going to go and jack off on your dick and get some more energy so you can go manifest a piece of, maybe a piece of clothing? Are you kidding me? That's your mentality. That's your intelligence. So you're going to sit on the earth that you're going to sit on. It will be Epstein Earth and it will go into extinction and entropy because those are your actions. Stay off my channel. Scotty or Cluedo, you have the right to kick any of these people off. There's no more tolerance. The Father said no more tolerance. Bye. Welcome to your karma. There will be no further prolonging of this matter. The spiritual courts have spoken, the karma boards and the federations have spoken on any of the delays that have been processed by these people that continually come on to abuse and incite war and hate. This has been beyond the point of insanity. There will be no further battery, harm, or discrimination and dissension to all of the light workers and the innocent ones. If you do not respect life in and of itself, then those will be the return of equally to your life and to your work and to your family and to your business and to your health. If you don't respect it, then it will be taken from you, period, point blank. That is the Father's word. Have a pleasant and unyielding, beautiful day. We are very excited to be with you on all of these human ascension transactions. Be sure to call upon us if you are in any similar experiences of systematic abuse or dark occult abuse, and know that with joy and peace in your heart, any healing and any abundance can be at your beckoning call in every moment that you do your proper rebalancing, because you're the one that's inciting, you're intending it. We look forward to the many divine co-creations that you can call upon us at any time, and we are always here. We are with you on every moment and every day, and the moment of breath is your presence to return back to Source. We wish you namaste. This is your Commander Ashtar. And so that's Commander Ashtar's message for today, and I do have to go. I'll just go. I'll do a video tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be just fully Claire's. We've done all of our channeled messages. We're not going to talk about this again. That was Commander Ashtar, because there's going to be karma unfold, and people are going to be wondering what's going on in the collective because they haven't been watching my videos because they don't care. They're just popping into, bully and attack and trying to poke me to get me off course. So I don't want any of these people on my channel anymore. As soon as we get them on the channel and they're smart-ass comments, we can just knock them off. If you're not going to do the Ascension pathwork, if you don't care about life, if you don't care about humanity moving into Ascension, don't come to my channel. My channel is all about consciousness and evolution and Ascension. It's a free will channel. I don't deserve to be shadow banned. I don't deserve to be blocked. I don't deserve to be bullied every day. I don't deserve to have 20 or 30 people sign on and do magic in the background just because they have and being paid to do and hate. And so, okay, they get to be hateful, but I don't get to be loving, and I don't get to bring the highest light vibration teachings available to the planet that will help them not be trafficked and sold. So then again, it's very blatant that there are agendas to suppress humanity into darkness and enslavement. And then I tell you one more time, and then what? You take the golden calf off, and then what? You take all divine feminine away, and then what? You take all star seeds away, and then what? You take all the children away, and then what? You have a planet with just elite men. Okay, and then what? You sit in your diseased bodies, and nobody will ever visit you because you're so hateful. And who are you going to call at the last minute when you realize that Satan and Lucifer are just deities that work for God? You get practice being a little dark, and then you're meant to come out of it. Because the only one that has say on the last moments is God. And God knows exactly what's been done and the purity of your heart. Is the purity of your heart pain and demolishing of others? Or is it uplifting and radiating of light and peace and unity and the care that you have taken for the earth and those around you? Allow yourself to know that there will be those that will not come along for the full ride, because that was their soul's choice. There is much going on in the ethers. There is much going on in the spiritual realm. This is the path of ascension, and there is a shifting out every day based on your vibration. It is key and it is privy for us to say at this time, may you raise your vibration in love and joy and peace and happiness as much as you can, as often as you can. We know that many of you have been through great crimes and been through great imbalances, and it is up to you to do all that you can with our help, with our assistance, to raise your vibration in all ways. The practices that I have offered, that Joanna and Celeste has offered, have been the process of ascension to reclaim your light and to rebalance your aura and your chakras and the divine feminine masculine wounding, so that you can move forward in eternal life and have whatever body and have whatever experience that you so choose from thought. And that is the power of being an eternal being and the reflection of Source omnipresent. These are basic truths of our universe. And no church and state will hold up to these basic truths. And if they feel the desire to continually lying and to continually inciting fear and to continually separating their collective and to continually disconnecting their connective and to continually disconnecting from spirit and love and peace and humanity and unity consciousness, if this is their rule, then they will also be moved. And what kind of a leader incites harm and damage and Hunger Games to the most precious? The hand of God is showing you how precious the one before you is. And nothing will happen to this one before you. She is to be protected at all costs. She is priceless to the multiverse and what she brings and what she offers intellectually for all species. She is the Father's daughter. And may this ring true to your hearts, because each and every one of you are also sons and daughters. And who are you? And what planet will you arrive upon? In the vibration of your core and your center, who are you? Are you love? Are you peace? Are you joy? Are you happiness? Are you working with spirit in every moment that can be worked and loved and allowed and surrendered and softened? And for those that would like an ascension session, or a beautiful divine soul blueprint or a connection with your teams. I am also part of the ground crew for First Contact. I'm working with Commander Ashtar. I'm an ambassador of peace and the First Contact, First Contact ambassador of the ground crew. That was a mouthful. We're changing titles all the time. There's going to be much happening in the next 6 months in preparation for the new alignments that each and every one of you have allowed yourselves to transmute. And so they're just saying too, for those of you that have been on the path for all, this is a very special download for all of those that have been with me forever. And this is to the ones that I dedicate my life and my healing to. And you will always have a space in whatever castle that I'm ever blessed from Mother Father. This is for the ones that have been following me since the KCOR days, and these are to my special clients. There's going to be much blessings and gifts that are brought from the divine heavens. I have goosebumps everywhere. There's going to be much coming to you over the next 6 months in appreciation and gratitude for all that you have done on your paths. And the ambassadors, they're showing me that many of you are very great caretakers of the earth. And you love your gardens and you love being in your gardens, and the love that you give your gardens has been felt through the very sands and the soils and the grids of the earth. And so they're very, very grateful for you, and your ancestors are so very grateful for you bringing them back into your daily lives. And so the Mother and the Father and all of your celestial councils are just saying within the next 6 months, you're going to be all blessed. For those of you that have been on the path and you're waking up every day in devotion of being your highest and your best, and just continually alchemizing those little triggers that come up every day and finding your way back to peace and joy and happiness, because you're meant to be the sacred children. You're meant to live every day in joy. You're not meant to live in the suppressed experience that we've been shown. You're not meant to be enslaved. You're not meant to be abused and used. You're not meant to be, treated as if you're, the way that divine feminine are treated and children are treated on this planet is abhorrent. And it's not meant to be the way. And so this is why Father will make my case world known and the deeds that were done, so that we understand the dangers of abusing energy. And the dangers of abusing dark occult, black magic, everything that's coming back to all of those people that are going to experience their karma. It is their own return of their own black magic that have been going on for 50 years in my case. And those that choose not to bring truth forward, again, they're just going to experience more karma, because it's only to their benefit to bring truth and to bring my birth records and the truth forward. I don't deserve to live in their lies. And so, did you have another message there, Commander Astor, Councils of Light, Galactic Federations? How's everybody doing? Really excited? Are you feeling healthy and vibrant? Are you feeling healthy and up? And how's everybody feeling? Please bathe everybody with the highest holy light, Holy Spirit, and just ground your feet. Ground, ground, ground. Grounding is so important to those times of big energy and big flux. We love everybody so much. We're bathing everybody with love and light. Bathing everybody with love and light. Love, love, love and light. Extra blessings for those that are my clients, Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, and the archangels. Please bathe them with holy light and the very special blessings for their hearts, their minds, their bodies, and their souls. And may they have the most special love that anybody can adorn them with. They are also gods and goddesses in my eyes. I love you so very much. The Pleiadians would like to come forward. Yes, they're saying that many of you have been taking greater responsibility in who you are in your new paths of co-creatorhood. So you're now taking more confidence. It's more confidence, right? You're taking more confidence. Yes, I can manifest. I don't need all those other things that you thought. So they just want you to take this next 2 days. And take the next 2 days and think about how far you've come in the ideas of what is confidence meaning to you now. So what does that mean in your star seed, in your cosmic and your galactic energies? And you're feeling so much more, what the ideas they're getting for me is soulfully whole. So as you're soulfully whole, you're getting, all of those soul fragments are now allowing me to feel so confident. I feel like I can talk about things I never used to talk about before. I can stand in my truth because I can hear spirit. My intuition's working, it's bang on, right? All of these things that are making you feel confident in moving on your path with great embellishment of being you and great, you're meant to be creatively unique. You're meant to be creatively authentic. However it's meant for you in that day. You might want to be a really eccentric one day, and the next day you might want to be a bit wild and, as I've said, rebelliously rebelliously relentless, right? And just being resilient and coming through. No matter what it takes, you're going to come through. The theory of everything is source creator. And as our, so yes, so your question reminds me to bring up another point they said, is that as our consciousness rises one within each other and within the all, because one person's raising their consciousness is the consciousness of all that is in consciousness, as you become more awakened to you being the same within the all in that one fractal and that one aspect, and as you go into your soul recognition and your soul integration, you become more whole. So as that consciousness actually happens and it clicks, that's called the alchemy, the alchemic click, when it cognizes into your beingness, that's when you have earned that next segment of consciousness. And then that's when your gifts and skills get activated, your DNA gets activated, your fields get activated, you just seem to know something you didn't know the day before. That is the ascension process, and I've written about it in my books. It is an actual process, it's a real thing. And as each person goes through that cognizing click, where you just know something you didn't know before, something seems to make sense today, or that feels right for me, I feel excited, I feel, all of those are your true sense. It's your true sense of self. That gets you acting as spirit now. That gets you acting as a soul-fulfilled being. That's what it feels like to be aligned. You're very excited. You don't need anything from anything outside of you. You're just working off your own light. That exploration of consciousness allows for us to change the very fabric of science. So just know that in the coming future, we are going to see quantum physics change quite a bit because our consciousness has. And I've said that, I don't know, about 4 months ago in my videos, that we are changing, and we will be changing quantum physics. It's just like why 5D, why does somebody that's fully integrated at 5D, why can they levitate and fly around without any vessel or without any machine? Because it's their consciousness. They're coming into equilibrium with the gravity laws. They're coming into equilibrium with who they are as the consciousness of God. God creates all those laws. God creates every aspect of science through Metatron, the Metatronic light. God is everything, dear lighted ones. And that's what is meant by you are in the image of. It was never meant to be a religion we sit in a box forever. Those were 3D liturgies. We're now meant to move into 5D. Our science will be changing because everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. It's God. It's omnipresent. We are becoming omnipresent by that fractal integration. I'm now omnipresent. I can see this perspective of me. Now I'm going to move to this perspective, and it's a constant shifting. It's a constant clicking of the dodecahedron. You're now going to shift to this perspective. You're now going to shift to this one. You're now going to shift to this one. You have to integrate those soul fragments. You can't jump. You can't jump over it and say, oh, I looked at it. I'm over here now. No, you actually have to sit with it. Why did I discriminate? Why did I impale her? Why did I say I hated her? It had nothing to do with her. It had to do with me. You have to look at it. You have to heal it. You have to sit down and do the pathwork. You have to sit down and do the pathwork. You cannot get from here to here without doing the alchemy through your divine sacred heart. Your divine sacred heart is the above and the below working together. Your higher mind and your lower mind becoming God mind. Your higher self will guide you in every minute, and your higher self would never, ever, ever, in a billion freaking evers, ever guide you to hurt anybody. Because your higher self knows, and your higher self doesn't want you doing more negative karma. Your higher self would never guide you to be more negative karma. Your higher self would never ever guide you to go to jail. Your higher self would never ever guide you to do horrible things to people that don't deserve it. Your higher self would never do that because your higher self is God. That's what's meant by you are in the image of. You are. It's right there. Do you want to align to it or not? And what do you need to align to your higher self? Everybody put it in the comments. Those of you that have been with me forever, those of you that know what alignment equals, what does alignment equal? Can ascension be proven? Yes, it can be. You have more quantum light. You have a higher light quotient. Your cells vibrate faster. Go watch the Gaia. Go watch the Gaia channel. When you become light, your cells oscillate faster. It is quantifiable because you're gaining more spirit than matter. Go watch my videos. Go watch my videos. Your matter is just matter, unless there is spirit connected with it. And what is connection? What is the alignment factor? If you're aligning with your higher self, what is that? What is alignment? We talk about it every video. Alignment is your daily pathwork of connection and relationship. Are you connecting with spirit and your relationship with spirit of all things? Look and seek the relationship of all life. It's there. It is always. It's always within you. It's always there. What is your connection and the relationship with God, source creator, your brothers and sisters, the omnipresent, the trees, the nature, the animals? And therefore, thus then, if you do this every day, you would never pick up a gun to fight or shoot anybody. You wouldn't. It goes against everything that you are, spirit. Why would you do that? You're one with the animal that you're shooting the brains out of. Why would you do that? Because it's fun? Oh, well, okay, well then that's disconnection, and there's nothing connecting you with spirit on any level. Again, if you're doing the work, it will be quantifiable. But you're not doing the work. You're just asking the question, hoping for the fast answer. Go do the work. Go do the work and do the answers yourself. Go do the work. Go do the work. Do the work every day. Do the work every day. Prove it to yourself. Prove it to yourself every day. Do the ascension path work every day. When you include alignment with spirit and God every day, and you include spirit in every breath, you include spirit in your meals, you include spirit in your lovemaking, you include spirit into everything. You include the resonance of light and love and happiness and compassion to yourself above all. When you include spirit of love and light and compassion to all, you change the resonance of your cells. You change the resonance of who you are. You change the resonance of the earth. You change the resonance of the water. Everything is affected, especially now because the rarefied light of the omnipresent is higher. Prove it to yourself. I'm begging of you. I implore all of you. Prove it to yourself. I don't pay lip service. I don't pay lip service. I'm not like the shadow government. I am nothing like them. I am the truth. I am the mirror that will face them because they are in lies. They are in deceit. If you do the work that I offer, if you do the work because you love yourself, because you want to feel the essence of God, you want to feel your body goosebumple, is that not proof for you? If you want to see a vision of a man in white, transparent in light, for God to prove himself to you, then that will be your proof and you ask God of that. It's not needed because spirit is in all things. You're just not aligned. You're disconnected. So how do you connect? By aligning yourself and turning that little cog. I want to have a relationship and I want to connect with spirit. Have that intention every day. Have the intention at night when you want to heal. Have the intention when you visualize light bathing your body and bathing the density away from you. I teach you and I show you and I spoon feed you. And all of the years that I have done this, and I'm going to say this because I also forgot to say this, in all the years that I have done this, very few people but a handful have ever donated to me. I offer the highest guidance on how to transmute trauma and density and darkness and demonic energies and evil energies. I help you. I offer it to you. I spoon feed everybody how to do it. Go buy my books and go do the work. And if you're not willing to do the work, you will not transmute and you'll sit where you sit. You have to do your own alchemy. I show you how to do it. Go prove it to yourself. I will not prove anything to you. I show you how. Then you go prove it to yourself. That's what masters do. We show you how to do it. We don't prove anything to you. Go do the work. If you don't want to do the work, you won't be self-actualized. You won't be in your light body. You won't activate your Merkaba. You won't activate your DNA. So don't activate your DNA. But you can't bully me and you can't intimidate me and you can't throw me off course because I did activate my DNA. I've earned it. And I've got legions of angels around me that'll make sure you don't touch me. Just because you don't understand. If you don't understand, that's fine. Go about your way. Go find somebody who wants to talk about Satan and hating people and doing sacrifices on people. I'm telling you the quantum law. The quantum law is all you put out, you get back. I didn't deserve 50 years of abuse and hate and lies and defamation and sabotage. I haven't received one penny. I haven't signed anything. Nobody's had an ounce of permission to do what they did to me, but they did it anyways. And they were absolutely overlooked by their crimes because they were in the system. How is that okay? And these children that are being trafficked don't have an ounce of, they don't have a hope in hell. If there isn't somebody like me until my very last day, until God says your time is done here. Because if this is a person who is strong and who is rebelliously resilient, has come forward and barely survived only through the hand of God and only through the alliance with light and only through what I teach, is the only reason why I'm sitting here today, is the only reason why I'm sitting here today. God had to put me back together 4 times. because of the egregious work that has been done on me through 50 years of relentless hate and attacks and hexes and curses and voodoos and sabotaging, then how is any child supposed to ever make it out alive? They have their birthright to ascend and be eternal light. That's why they have come here, to raise the consciousness of this planet. That's how unconditional these children are. And life is being treated like it's a game and a trafficking token for all those that choose to just stay in disconnection. But you don't have the right to take anybody out. It's no longer tolerable. The shadow governments and all those people that are behaving and refuse to heal and continue acting shadowing, then they will just be moved, and you will just see them here one day and not the next. So let it be. Let them go. There will be many people that will not go on the Ascension ride with you, and that is their lesson and their story to show you. Let them go, surrender, detach. That's a part of self-actualization. You don't need anything outside of you. Go within. That is part of your reconnection and your realignment and your relationship with God, with Source Creator, and the religions won't teach you that. Your essence, your Shikana, the Sophia Christic energy, the Sophia Christic energy is an essence. It's feeling, and you can feel it because your cells oscillate. When you activate the Shikana, when you activate the Sophia, you can feel it. It's tangible. Prove it to yourself. Do the inner love. Do the work. Same message. I've been saying it for 17 years. Same message. I have never been the problem, dear lighted ones. I'm coming forward speaking 100% truth. And there's a lot of people that are not living anywhere near their truth. Spirit and God is feelable and tangible in every minute. And every one of my clients, every book that has ever been written about miracles and synchronicity and the unknown and the miracle of God and the miracle of the heavens, whatever you want to call it. There are things that are just unexplainable, and you will remember your past lives, and you will remember other lifetimes, you will remember other planets, you'll have dreams about other planets, you'll have dreams about healing people, you have dreams about playing piano and you never touched a piano before, you'll have dreams about dancing you've never danced before, you'll have dreams about a lover you've never seen before, but you're going to walk by them the next day, just in a different body, in a different form, in a different name, in a different color, in a different sex. This is our multidimensional reality, and it's going to be unexplainable sometimes. But it is how it is as being multidimensional. This is how it is being 5D. And I'm already there. It doesn't mean I don't belong. It doesn't mean that I'm evil. And it doesn't mean that I'm anything less than just being a higher intelligent being that's trying to help people make their way to eternal life. That is my promise with God. I am the voice. I am the scales. I walk with Anubis. I am the word of justice. And we will be writing new laws so that what's happened to me will never ever happen to anybody again. It was a waste of time and resources and money, and many deaths were incurred to try and take me out. Many practitioners were even moved out of the way because they refused to see why their magic, because they were so great in their magic and they were so gluttonous in their own righteousness, that they kept trying and trying. And of course, that came back as negative karma on them because they were told to stop. And if you were aligned with your higher self, then you wouldn't be doing such things. Magic and black magic and voodoo is not necessary for you to ever achieve and receive. There is no channeler on the planet. There is no top-ranked channeler on the planet that will ever tell you in a billion freaking evers that any black magic and voodoo is ever a way to go, to get you what you think you need or to be, or to feel, or to experience. It isn't, and it never will be. Do the infinity on everything that you do. Do the infinity on every question you have, and go within and get the answers yourself, because that's what great masters do. We're going to keep returning you back to yourself. We're going to keep returning you to go do the work. And when you show yourself that you're important enough and you love yourself enough to do the work, you're going to do the work. And God will show up to you however God shows up to you. That's not between me and God. That's between you and God. That's what everybody's forgotten. You've given so much power to the person that stands in front of your pulpit. And they don't know what they're talking about because they're not connected with God. They have no idea how to get to that connection with God. They just read from a Bible and they memorize it. That doesn't make them godly, dear lighted ones. It doesn't. We've told you a million times. Being godly is in those moments when nobody watches. And are you doing the things that make you most godly in love and compassion and forgiveness to all? Are you helping animals? Are you helping the people? Are you sitting down and loving yourself just a little bit more and forgiving those wounds that need to be forgiven? Are you lifting up divine feminine? Are you giving to the people? If you're wealthy, are you giving back to the people that need it? Are you creating homes for the homeless? Are you creating food banks? What are you doing to be in your godliness of giving, love, and hope, and sacred co-creation, and sacred excitement, and sacred expression, and sacred being in your garden, and sacred being on the land, and sacred thinking about the heavens, and sacred being in the breath of God? You can be godly without ever stepping a foot in the church or reading a page of the Bible. That's the message, dear lighted ones, and Jesus came forward with it. 3 times he stepped in churches. That's it. The rest of his time was on Gaia. That's where he was activated. That's where he showed the majesty of all heavens. It's multidimensional, it's Christic, and it's felt in every way. And people are healed because you're connecting with Source. Again, if everything that we say, and we will only say it in this way, connection is everything. And if you don't have connection, then you'll find it very hard to move forward in any way, because you have lost sight of who you are within your heart space, and you have done so much darkness, and you have shut down your chakras so much so that there's hardly any light getting inside of you for you to feel connected in anything, to anything, of anything. And that's why we have said, please, dear lighted ones, it is very common sense to call in light and accept light as a way of life. And will you do it? And will you be it? And will you see it for yourself and incite it for yourself and be it for yourself? You must do your own alchemy, and nobody will do it for you. Nobody's going to lift you out of your slump. Nobody's going to show you how you are to creation. That's up to you. Be self-reliant. It's just you and God. That's the story. It's always been you and God. You have a unique puzzle piece to all creation, and you can be abundant, and you can be special, and you can be unique, and you can have your alien and your celestial DNA activated just like I did. And all your ancestors will come and lift you for a beautiful dinner that will only be set for you. And that will be your calling of your flowers. It's called being given your flowers. That means that you've been initiated, because you've overcome density, you've overcome discrimination, you've overcome self-judgment. And you get to sit at the table of blessings that God will set for you. That means your activations, that means your families, that means your tribes will all be given to you, because you've done the work. You've shown God 15 minutes every day, I will do this for me, because I just want to feel what spirit feels like. I want to feel what's God's spirit. I want to feel what God's voice feels like. I want to talk to God every day. What does that sound like, God? Please show me. You have to want it. If you don't want the connection, then you'll sit where you sit. Then you shouldn't be asking any questions. If you're doing something to truly be and know, then truly be and know. Do the work. Sit with intention, get out your journal, and do what we've been talking about in 700 videos. All of my videos are experiential. All of my videos show you how to do things. All of my videos show you tips and skills and hints. Go watch the videos. Do the work. You're not going to get around this, people. There's no way around this. Those of you that have been with me forever have done the work. They journal. They do the work every day. They talk with spirit every day. They sit and do their grounding. They do their meditations. They go commune with Gaia. They know that they have a connection with the heavens. This is how they behave. Those of you that are new in this, those of you that are new and saying, I want a connection with Source. I want to know how you feel, what you feel. I want to know how to get to where you are. Ask those questions with respect. I won't prove anything to you, people. I won't. That is not, a master will never ever prove anything to you. As Jesus said when he was asked to prove, when they came to him and said, you came today with food and you came today with blessings, and I feel differently now than I did before. Prove to me how you did this. And all Jesus said, you ate and you were fed. Is that not enough? You keep asking for more, and we keep showing you, and we keep giving when we have nothing left to give, and you still take it, and you still harvest it, and you still rape it from us, and you still ask, and you still ask, and you still take it, and you still take it. You go make copy, you go make your own content, you go use our content, you go use our stuff, you go use our work, and we don't get a dime for it, and we're left exhausted, and we just keep spoon-feeding you. At some point, you will be told by every master, the infinite is within you, dear lighted ones. It always has been, it always will be. And when you activate who you are, you activate an aspect of your soul that comes online and starts talking to you. And when you get used to talking to these soul fragments, it's called the voice of spirit. It's called God. In all the fractals of all that you've ever been are divine feminine, masculine roles and energies and woundings that you've now transmuted into full acceptance and self-love and forgiveness. You must give this to yourself first. And when you do, you start hearing spirit in many ways. This is why you can channel in many different voices. This is why you can channel in many different dialects, because they're all you. They're in different versions, in different planets, in different realms, in different countries, in different bodies, in different versions of you. This is how dynamic we're meant to be. There's no one answer. There's no one answer for every person. Every person is going to be different, because this is the beauty of God. This is why God does what God does. This is why me, as eclectic and as unique as I am, I was a force to be reckoned with, because there's never been a person like me so eclectic, so non-conformist, so non-standard that has ever been and made it this far. Nobody. Nobody has ever made it this far as a divine feminine fully integrated. Nobody has ever made it this far. And I'm going to keep going. I will not stand down. It was purposeful for me to be this eclectic and come forward and say, everything's changing. Do what you want to do. It's not for me to say, it's not for me to preach on how you're going to do anything. It doesn't matter to me. I'm here to specifically state truth. I'm here to help with the soul's process and the soul's progress. Do whatever you want to do. It's between your soul and God. There are higher ways. Everybody has everything within them, and this is how we do it. You stay for the ride or move along. It is quite that simple. I can no longer have my time wasted. I cannot have my energy wasted. There does need to be reciprocity. If you are gaining things from my channel, then please give back. It is not okay for elites to have been harvesting and to be using my energy and to have done as much crime as they have done, even if it's just coming to listen to my video, and then you make down notes and you go put it in your speech, in your sermon, and you use the exact words and use verbiage, and you take my energy and you're putting it towards your congregation, and you give nothing to me. You give me no credit. You hide my channel, and you pretend that I'm not alive and I'm not there, while you're taking my energy and my words and my wisdoms, and you're using it in your life, and you're making money off of it. That's called harvesting. And it's illegal. And I'm left for nothing. And that's when God says, enough is enough. You've given enough. There will be no more giving. These people are cut off. You cannot keep taking. You cannot keep taking advantage of people and expect it's still there. I will be moved, and you'll be left to your own accord. There's no amount of copying, there's no amount of pretending, there's no amount of doppelganging that will gain you consciousness. It has to be earned. There is consciousness that has to be earned, and it can only be earned by doing the work. You cannot fake your way to ascension. Any world leader, any country leader, any politician, and this is why everybody knows, and this is why they do their little games and their little ploys to incite fear-mongering and worrying. Because they know you cannot fake consciousness. You cannot fake it. You're not aligned. There's no consciousness in you, whatever. You haven't done the work. You haven't done an ounce of work. You can. You can choose to. You can choose to sit down, and you can choose to look at your blueprint like a divine code of your DNA, like a codon. That's what your soul's blueprint is. It's a huge DNA selection of all your soul's blueprint, and you get to activate all those beautiful parts of you. That's the God. That's the God design. That's God. I know that. I know that for a fact. And I just want to come forward because I'm so happy in expressing it and delivering it and expressing it. That's who I am. That's my excitement. I get to. And equally, I will have the clients. And equally, I will have the donations. And equally, I will have the money so that I can have a house that I sit in. And I can have proper tools. And I can have a proper meal. And I can have proper people that will love me and lift me and give me free space where I can work in. And I can heal the people that I'm meant to heal, that want to be healed. From here on out, I will only heal those that want to be healed. Everybody else, you will be moved. The Father has had enough. I will not prove or validate anything to anybody. I will not be tested on. I will not be treated like a lab rat one more day. You will not take my DNA. You will not test it. You will not try and make it. You will not try and clone it into anything else. Your time is up. You will not treat me like a lab rat. You will not disrespect me or my body in any way, on any level, ever again. The Father knows what's been going on. Everything has been seen. Everything has been known. You will not touch my DNA. There has never been permissions for you to use me in any way, nor to incite, nor to falsify false narratives about who I am and what I am. You don't have a right. Those are false, illegal claims. And I will sue you for defamation because you don't even know me. I have healed people that were never meant to be healed on this planet. They were the darkest of beings, and I've healed them. Only God knows. I don't have to prove anything. God will show you, and God will tell you, and God will show this to you in your dreams or your visions, or God will actually show you that you're one of the darkest ones, and I healed you. Because tomorrow you're going to feel different because the codes and the activations that I offer, for the purity of intent that everybody that comes on this channel, they offer the highest codes possible so that their soul be seen in new light. Because I am truth, so too can you be. Who are you? I'm a representation of the heavens, Holy Mother and Father, and thank you for loving me in every way. Because I want to connect with you and I want to build a relationship with you in my breath. For in my inhale and in my exhale, all the omnipresent is available, and I am that I am. And I will never be taken from or abused ever again, and I can help others. I can heal others. I'm here for the expression of happiness and joy. I'm here for the expression of creativity. I'm here for the happiness of rewriting every system out there, because every system out there is imbalanced. Every single one of you have a part to play, dear lighted ones. We've been saying that from day one. You don't have to take anything, you don't have to incite anything, and you don't have to push your ways on any. Just sit down and do your work and get healed. Love yourself. Every day, look at your divine feminine and masculine energies. There's many examples on my platform and on my YouTube page of healing pages and the questions to ask yourself in your healing journey. In all of our videos, we give you tips and hints and things to work through and questions to ask yourself. And then you sit down for a half hour the next day, 45 minutes the next day, an hour the next day. And before anybody gets up in your house, you do the work. It's your love work. It's your soul work. It's your integration work. It's your work with God. It's your showing creational universe. I'm going to give you an hour every day, and therefore there's going to be something come back with me in that hour, however God wants to give it to me, however God wants to give it to me. I'm either going to have better health. I'm either going to have a recognition by a soulmate. I'm either going to have a recognition that, yes, I'm connected with the heavens. However God blesses me, it will be. Let go of the outcome, because you're not controlling it. You're not ego. But you're devoting, and it will be equal measure. Because that's the universe. That's just how it is, equal measure. All you put out is coming back. And if all you put out is hate, if all you put out is discrimination and demolishing somebody, then that's what you're going to get. How can it be any different? Universal laws trump all. Perhaps you learn them. And then do the work. Go investigate them. Go write about them. Go search them. Go seek them. Meditate on them. Meditate on the universal laws. Do the work, people. You're a multiversal being. What are you doing for your consciousness? What are you doing for your expansion? I empower you, I enhance and I inspire each and every one of you. I encourage each and every one of you. Get connected. However you are excited to get connected, that's God. You are never disconnected. It is only in the outer, it is only in the systems, and we're rewriting them. This matrix will be a higher vibrational matrix in which everybody is connected. And it will be a powerful matrix of love and light and compassion and unity, in which every person on this planet is treated fairly and justly. There is no divine feminine that will be treated less than any man. We are equal and we are fair. And we have intuition and we have gifts and we have sacred magic and we have sacred mysteries within us. And each and every one of us is supposed to bring forward our unique gift of the world, for the world, into the world. And it can only be if we are connected with God within, and God will activate your unique coding when you have that relationship with God. And it's usually the different kind of God that's taught to you in the churches and in the Bibles. Because this God you're going to get really intimate with. And you're going to ask God whatever questions you want to ask and say, God, may I have a sign from you that I'm alive with you? And you take a deep breath with intention. The holy creator of all galaxies, of all planets, of all breath, of all life, of every star system that is here yet to be created. And there is a God that knows every codon and what's within my codons. And there's a God that knows that within my next breath I can be activated. God knows that within the next 10 days I can forgive myself for something I never thought I could forgive myself for, and I'm going to help others forgive themselves. That's unity consciousness, dear lighted ones, where you care enough about yourself that healing and that experience within yourself is going to heal somebody else. That's unity consciousness. And everything that I give here today, hopefully it will affect at least one person. Will they go away changed and they can go affect somebody else in their reality because their consciousness and their light quotient has just been changed because they choose to accept themselves and forgive everything else. So in this moment, dear lighted ones, breathe in the Christed light. It's crystalline and it's transparent. And your angels and your guides are bathing you with this light. And you're going to forgive yourself for all past transgressions, for all doubt that you may have had because you've been swarmed with false ideologies and false notions about what God is and how church wanted God to be and how church wanted Jesus to be and how church wanted Buddha to be and how church wanted Muhammad to be and how church wanted all these beings to be. And what about the divine feminine? And what about the children? And what about the elders? What about Gaia? What about the animals? Do you see what we're saying? There's been so much imbalance and discrimination. And this is where we heal it, right here, right now. Place everything on the table that needs to be healed from discrimination, and in the next few days it will be brought forward to you gently and softly, because that's spirit. That's how you know you're working with spirit. It's always soft, it's always beautiful, it's always gentle. And whatever discrimination that is within you that is the next to be healed, your higher self knows. Surrender it to your higher self and ask yourself, say it out loud. Say it out loud, your cells in your body is listening. I call forward any discrimination issue to be placed on the table before me, or in my dreams, or in my day, that I will be made aware of the discrimination that I can heal and make right. And you ask Spirit and you ask Mother, Father, God to face this discrimination. Whether it is discrimination of your own creativity, whether it is discrimination of you being a divine feminine or a divine masculine, whether it's discrimination against your body, whether it's discrimination against how you love yourself, whether it's discrimination about how you were treated as a child, whether it's discrimination about your next door neighbor being a divine feminine or being a trans, it doesn't matter what that discrimination is. Allow it to come forward and face it. And then sit with an open heart. We are showing you how to heal. We are showing you the work, dear lighted ones. And you actually have to do it to feel the alchemy. You can't just pay lip service and say, I'm connected to God because I read a Bible. That doesn't mean anything. It means you can memorize a book. Connecting with God takes your intention, takes your purity of heart. It takes you wanting to love yourself so much so, to see and feel and be something different in the next moment. Because when you are forever changed, there is no going back. And when somebody comes to you in 2 years from now and says, how do you know there's a God? And you're going to be saying similar things to what I'm saying. Because when you feel the essence of God run through your body and everything is goosebumpy and you break out in immediate sweats and you start crying, that is when God has shown you that there is connection made. And spirit is now active in your body. It is very palpable. It is very feeling. It is very tangible. It's very matter of factly. And that is spirit is the only quickener. Take a deep breath. Invite spirit into your life. In this moment, we love you so much. Now say beautiful words of love. I am the delight of the Holy Creator. My cells are lifting, my bodies are listening, my fields are bathed in light. My cells are now lighter. My thoughts are now lighter. My chakras are open and spinning in light. I speak in light, I speak in love, I can do anything. I speak in light, I speak in love, I can do anything. I am light and I am love, I can do anything. Iyanaya siatia kianaya. Shianama ketike sianama katatike shiana. Hayanaya ketike siananaya. Shiana makata kesi, laitikne makata tikeshin and kanama asi, siena katakanama aa. Thank you for remembering how loving and how light you are. And sing and dance and being playful and writing and painting and doing poetry and dancing in your yard, all that connects you with being a sacred child of joy. This is the pathway, this is the portal, and be grateful and gratitude for all that is love. Showing you the way back to source. It is this simple. And fill your heart with your commandmentship. To the Divine Holy Mother and the Father and all of my spirit guides that I have forgotten and all my ancestors that I have forgotten, please forgive me. I forgive my transgressions of feeling so disconnected. I want to reconnect in this moment of now. There is nothing more important on this planet. There's nothing more important to my health. There is nothing more important to my family. There's nothing more important to my relationships. There is nothing more important to who I am as a soul than my relationship and my connection with Source Creator. The connection with Source Creator is all. Every piece of intelligence, every piece of wisdom, every piece of alchemy, every piece of divine inventiveness, every idea that's ever been inspired, every piece of loving energy that has ever been taken or put from my body or taken from my body in ill health or harm. Everything makes a difference when I'm connected with Source, and it can be replaced the very next breath. Take a deep breath in. I'm now connected with the Divine Holy Creator at the divine center of my heart. May my heart pulse and beat in forevermore. My heart beats in forevermore. My heart beats in forevermore. My heart beats in forevermore. Iana kete she anaya ike anai aba 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 itiki amaya teki siana alike tiki shama kata kata ke siana kata ka ma a she shiana kata a she ketiki nama a she shiana kata ka. I love myself today. I love myself today. My heart is feeling the love. I'm connecting myself with my heart today. My heart is connecting all of my chakras today. My Earth Star chakra is connected with my heart. My root chakra is connected with my heart. My sacral chakra is connected with my heart. My solar plexus is connected with my heart. My throat chakra is connected with my heart. My third eye is connected with my heart. My crown chakra is connected with my heart. My soul star chakra is connected with my heart. I am connected with the heavens. I am connected with my collective. I am connected with Gaia. That is my sacred trinity. Take a deep breath. I am now connected. I am in alignment with my higher self that wishes only for the highest and best. And if there are negative thoughts, negative energies, negative thought patterns, then I can realign it and neutralize it with love and acceptance and forgiveness. Because I am the alchemic master to my body and my vessel and my future potential. I can neutralize anything. I am the alchemist to my own soul. I speak love and light to my day, and I can speak light into my cells, into my body, and I can heal anything. I give myself that commandmentship. I am in the representation of the heavens, and I ground this humbly. With great gratitude and appreciation, I feel so loving and so happy. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Gratitude and humility, dear lighted ones. That's how you earn your daily ranking. It's by giving yourself it first. I am deserving and worthy to feel my blessing and my unity with God and all life, the insects, the wildlife, the nature and the flowers and the water and the air. And with every vibrational hum, I hum along with it. Isyanamaka Shyananaka. Ishyanakarakete Syananakaya Nakaya Takeshe Yanakatatake Anayaya Te Yanakaya. For the heavenly coatings from the sun. Ishyanakarakete Syanaya Iti Te Shema A E A Te e ma a te e shikite na o ama a e te si ama te ke e te nen ma a e nana a bui na ke na ma a e na ma ka te ke ma a te ke she na ma ka te ke e po te ke a te ma ka a e she na ma a e ama ka e te ke she na ka Ayanaka te ke siana na a. Shiana makata te ka a. Do you not know what treasures you are, dear lighted ones? You are a treasure from the heavens, dear lighted ones. Your solar plexus is a mirror to the sun. What codes do you receive from the sun, dear lighted ones? Can you sit in open appreciation and connect your solar plexus and your heart? Bathe into me, dear lighted ones. Bathe into me, dear lighted mother and father. Bathe into me, heavenly moon and heavenly sun. Bathe into me the codes that I need to heal and feel refreshed with your love and your light. I accept love and light in my body, in my vessel, in my cells, and in my beingness. I am the spirit, I am the matter of all things, am I not? I am all timelines, I am all planets, I am all versions of me. I come forward with such intelligence and such wisdoms that I've never spoken before. Can this be the trust of me coming to new life of me? Of course it is. Every new day, the whole soul of you comes forward for a new version of the new soul of you. Every moment, every hour, you are changing and churning into something new. Can you put down the distractions and get used to you now? Can you get back to you now? Can you get back to your soul now? Can you get back to the connection and the vibrancy of you now? Can you reconnect with you now just for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours every day? Devote that to yourself and see your life change, and you prove it to yourself, dear lighted ones. That's all that's needed. Never ask anybody to prove anything to you. This is your job. This is your story. It's your journey. Prove it to yourself. Jesus never proved anything to you. Neither would Buddha. Just sit and connect. Show it to yourself, dear lighted ones. We are masters. We won't prove anything to you. We bring wisdoms, period. We show you how, period. It's your free will. That is the highest law of the universe, and we respect it above all others. We will never tell you what you should or should not do. Simply be. And this, dear lighted ones, we say, we love you. We love you so much. Thank you so much for being with us today, dear lighted ones. Anybody that would like to make a donation or an Ascension session, please feel free to use my PayPal. It's paypal.me/Joanna L. Ross. And so thank you so much. We love you so much. And if you'd like to book a private session to do an activation or just to have light language, feel free to just book the session as well. It's 90 minutes for $250 US, or you can do 4 for 45. 45 minutes. Yeah, stretch. Big stretch. I love you so much, everybody. We love you, we love you, I love you. We love you, we love you, we love you. Share our channel and spend some time with Gaia. There's going to be lots of changes. Oh yeah, they said one more note about Ascension symptoms are going to be more surreal. They're going to be really like full on, our Ascension symptoms, and we're going to feel it mostly in the upper chakras. And so that means get lots of rest, make sure you're clearing out your higher chakras, and make sure you're doing your cleansing baths, and making sure you're doing a cleansing at least once or twice a day, just doing the white light cleansing along all your chakras and doing your breath work and your grounding, right? So the higher you go, the more you have to ground. It's really important that we do that. So understanding the higher chakras are going to get activated as we're going through these next shifts of Ascension and where we're going to be placed vibrationally with the core center of our heart. So just focus again on your upper chakras and more water-rich food and lots of water and lots of rest, because your cells are doing a lot of work by changing into light. So you're going to be really tired. That's just a normal attribute of Ascension, right? So if you want to book a session, then just book it with me. And we love everybody. Everybody is forgiven. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for respect on the chat line. Thank you everybody for all of the sharing of our platform and the light wisdoms that are so important on our planet right now. Just move forward in love and light of yourself and all others. Get out of everybody's lane, judge not, and just move forward in love and light. And we love you so, so much. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you.